The Chicago Bears are coming off a big win against a divisional opponent, the Minnesota Vikings. But now it's time to turn the page to the Pittsburgh Steelers in a formidable foe in Aaron Rodgers. We're going to break down the entire game, turn the page from the Vikings, and a lot more Chicago Bears talk right after this. If you tuning in right now to the Black Bear Podcast, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no spaces. I'm your host, Mark Robb. With my co-host in the building, Chef West, to the right of me. We got some news for y'all. We have added to the team, the crew, the Black Bear Podcast crew. Y'all seen him in the chat, talking his talk, spreading some knowledge, defending us when we go to Giants podcast or when we go to Vikings podcast in the chat, going to bat for the not just the Black Bear Podcast, but the Chicago Bears team. Marcus Mixed It at the bottom of your screen, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. I appreciate y'all having me. What's good, Black Bear Podcast fans?
Yes,
I just want to bring, good energy and most importantly, good information instead of just having a biased opinion. And of course, I love being in the chat with y'all, but now I'm on the screen, so let's get it. Let's get it.
And I always say, like I was just saying before we went on, we try to make smarter Bears fans here because there's a lot of bullshit out there, a lot of bullshit information. I saw today actually. I don't know if y'all know this Bears beat reporter. I do because, like I always say, watch everybody, listen to everybody. Dan Wiederer, I'm sure he's a popular one. A lot of people know. He tweeted out a grade right for Caleb Williams. Basically, he ranked like superstar plays. He was talking about the Vikings game. He went superstar plays. I think it was like good plays, and then it was like average plays, then it was bad plays, then there was gross plays, right? So he's ranking them out of Caleb Williams 36 dropbacks last week, 30-something dropbacks, and he ranking them and he putting them in these categories. And I'm just like, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Like the media, like you got a job to do, but your job is not to sit here and act like you know how to evaluate a quarterback. Your job is to go to Hallis Hall, get the information, and relay that to Bears fans because we don't got the credentials to actually be there and, see things for ourselves. How many quarterbacks have you evaluated, or even how many quarterbacks have you trained in your life to where you can sit here and categorize these plays like this and act like that's the end all be all? That shit pissed me off. Wes, you probably saw the tweet. I tweeted it back at him or whatever, but that's why I say listen to everybody, because if you just listening to him, you're gonna think he's a fucking QB whisperer, and I guarantee he's never worked with a quarterback in his life. I guarantee a quarterback has never taken his advice in his life. So that's a little rant that I didn't even plan on going on, but you know how this shit go. But Wes, how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I feel good, man. It's close. I got my beanie on. It's cold up here being Kings. I don't know if I have to put a hoodie on, y'all. It's raining outside, thunderstorm. We got hail today. Thunderstorms down here in the desert. It's terrifying for everybody who look up to us nowadays. Because I just don't get why don't nobody want to convert. I don't know why they don't see the blessings and miracles that are happening. You know what I'm saying? And the book of Williams and the book of Bayard, and we can go to Nation 4-3, and see the intersect. Like we could go in here and all of these, the book of Ben. We could go to all of these because it's all New Testament stuff. It's all the new consecration, new covenant of the Chicago Bears to the Chicago fans, and just convert, be baptized in Lake Michigan, and just come back home.
I'm with you. I don't know what it is with people who still doubt. Look, I get it, but then I don't get it because, okay, people gonna say, and first of all, we got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight. Trust me, we gonna get to it. We gonna get into the actual meat of what the thumbnail was about and the title was about. But they, you know, all we've been hearing, they ain't beat nobody. They ain't beat nobody. Chicago Bears ain't. And if you actually look at it, some of the teams we beat, which we've talked about all the time, like they've beaten some good teams. You know, they just didn't beat us. And when we was on the Vikings podcast, Wes, they asked us what was a statement win. I said the Bengals win, but really, that Washington win was the statement win because they're gonna write them off now. But going into that game, nobody had us pick to win. First of all, second of all, I believe Washington was still like a playoff contender in a lot of people's eyes. Now that everything's unfolded, we're gonna write us off, and it wasn't that good.
Because Jane Daniels came back. Remember, he wasn't gonna play against us, but then he came back, so he can beat us again. Remember, that's what the narrative was at that point in time. So whatever.
Trey Santiago said, "We playing good because Wes ain't been to no games this year."
I hear you, cuz. That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Vikings. Another Wes. You know how I talked to everybody about how I felt. Marcus Mixon, you heard it last week too.
Mm-hmm.
What I overall thought about the game. Wes gave his opinion on it. What just overall briefly, what was your thoughts overall on the Vikings game, so we could put this to rest, turn the page. We finally got our first divisional win, so we don't need to talk about them no more.
Yeah, I think for me, when I think about that game, and I think I said this in the chat too when I was watching the live, I really feel like the game, like just I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel like Brian Flores coached a good game. And I felt that way before I seen like the blitz rate being up almost double and stuff like that. And I'm like, the game plan going into this game is obviously to make Caleb Williams uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Caleb Williams also did a good job of managing that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the most important thing. So like, yeah, we look at it from a stat perspective and say he had thrown 50% and no touchdowns and stuff like that. But to be honest, I look at it and say he did what was required, which was take care of the ball, try to get us in scoring position. Yeah, some of these passes didn't get caught, or he might have sailed a person a time or two and stuff like that. But the strategy was there. And I feel like when it comes to like what the score was and how close the game was at the end of the day, I didn't like that. I feel like we had multiple options, multiple opportunities to kind of put this game away. And I feel like we didn't capitalize on it. And I don't know what they are, but you can look at, like, I'm sure like whatever the red zone statistics are is going to speak for us not capitalizing on those opportunities. But I also feel like as far as what the game plan was, I feel like it was a good game plan on both sides. I think it just worked out in our favor. But I also do feel like the same way that y'all feel, I feel like some of the play calls in certain situations was questionable.
And not to just cut you off, but that go hand in hand though. Like you just gave Brian Flores his credit, like, and it makes sense because, like you said, some of Ben Johnson plays just didn't work. But Brian Flores had got the best of him on some calls. You know what I mean? Like he did his thing. So, like you said, that 50%, which Caleb was getting hit over the head about for some reason, it don't tell the full story if you didn't actually watch the game the right way. Keep going. My bad. I just wanted to.
No. I think you really just kind of made my point though. Is like that's really it. Is if you didn't watch the game, what he threw as far as the percentage, it doesn't look good, especially when you got this 70% mark that Ben Johnson established at the beginning of the year hanging over his head. And it's like, are we ever going to see a game where he throws 70+%? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just like, I can't think back to what that game was and say I would have rather Caleb do this or whatever, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, this game plan is working. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like I mean, like when I looked at the game, Calvin Nunga, he wasn't as effective, but DeAndre Swift had 90 rush yards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't score, but Mananga with his 13 yards, he still put a touchdown on the board. And I want to say he was the only one to do it, because I think we got 4 field goals this game. So it's like, I feel like, you know, like we was kind of talking about before, it's kind of a chess match when you kind of go into it, and it's like you got to use the right pieces in the right times and make the moves in the right times, or you could be giving up points. And I feel like we just executed better. I feel like even with JJ McCarthy throwing 50%, the same exact amount of completions, same exact amount of missed throws as Caleb, I feel like the way that Caleb and the Bears managed the game plan worked better.
No, I agree. And because the first time we played them, everybody was expecting this crazy blitz, which because that's what he does, and he did that to Caleb last year as a rookie. But the first time we played him, he didn't blitz. He didn't blitz nearly as much as he did his last game. Now this last game we played, what was it like? Up, I've seen
79%.
79%. I've
That's what I
seen
heard.
ranges from 60, high 60s to 79% on how many times he blitzed. And like I said, it wasn't nowhere near that week 1. So, and then Ben Johnson also, I don't know if y'all heard him speak Monday. Wes, remember I talked about how, y'all seen it? Those edges, they was killing us on the edge, whether we ran the ball or passed the ball. They were coming off the edge more than they usually do. They weren't ready for that, but they adjusted. Ben Johnson said it. They adjusted exactly how he envisioned it when they was watching on the field. Brian Flores, you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna keep seeing that. Like who we got? We got Pittsburgh and then we got Philly. Now it's God. Look. We got some defensive coordinators coming up. We go from Flores to Tomlin to Fangio. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. But they're not that type. You know what I mean? They're more traditional defenses that is easier to, you've seen it before. Brian Flores is as exotic as they come. So I'm glad somebody can actually watch it and don't just look at the numbers and actually, because Brian, look, he get paid too. Like we always say, Wesley, they get paid too. And he did his fucking thing. So,
but before you move on, because you kind of just made me think about it. When we were talking about Dennis Allen at the beginning of the season or just earlier weeks in the season, not even it's a lot of places where you go there's when they speak about what Dennis Allen's defense was, it was, like especially when he's loading the box up on 3rd and long and stuff like that, and you don't know where the pressure's coming from and stuff like that. The talk was they're gonna give up plays, and we have to an extent, but they're also making plays at the same time. And to our credit, we first in the NFL in takeaways.
Yep.
Right. With Brian Flores and what he did, and this is why I feel like he coached a good game, is he blitzed almost 80% of the game and only gave up 193 passing yards. That's tough to do, because when you blitz that much and you bring that many people in the box and you're doing it that consistent, you leave holes. And to Brian Flores' credit, Caleb wasn't able to take advantage of it and just have a crazy day. Well, like my bold prediction before the game was Caleb throw 3 touchdowns. He threw 0. Okay. So it's like Brian Flores, at the end of the day, I feel like the game plan that he went in with, feel like, sorry, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we got you.
Y'all got me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay. Yeah. I just feel like he did his job well, and I just feel like from the Bears' perspective, Caleb kind of understood what it was that he was going against, and he managed the situation well enough to keep us in a position to win the game. And I think that's the most important part to take out of it.
So, and like you said, Ben Johnson, he spoke. He already said, like, I thought Caleb did a hell of a job navigating what Flores was throwing at him that game. And look, you said 193 passing yards. We seen it early in that first quarter. I think it wasn't the first drive. It might have been the first drive. I don't know, but I know it was for sure the first quarter. Rome beat his man, boom, boom. Got a step or two on him. Overshot him by about a yard or two. They called a play to DJ, like kind of like, I don't know if it was I don't know where he came, if it was a crossing route or a corner route, but Caleb sailed that one too. Those are open plays that if he makes those, he's well over 200 yards. You know what I mean? Not to mention some of the drops. Like DJ had a crucial drop. Now they came back and found Colston Loveland to get the first, but that defense definitely had them out of sync, out of whack that game. But look, Wes, you know when we was talking about the coaching search, Brian Flores was one of my guys that I was looking at probably top 5 for me, I believe, if I remember correct. But
and that's my whole point. And let's see if we can get them back on here. But like I said, to me, this is exactly what. As long as I've been watching football, the best analysts, the best coaches, I always say, like, you got to be playing your best football late in the season. Like, you got to treat games like playoff games. Like, I know it's possible to go out there and just rock somebody in the playoffs. We've seen Green Bay go down to Arlington and just knock the Cowboys off their socks in one game. But how often is that happening in a playoff game, a wild card game, a NFC Championship game? Remember, we lost the NFC Championship game with a double dunk on the field goal. That if we would have made it, we would have won back and forth. That's how we're winning. We're winning like these are playoff games. So if we could go the stretch and go the mile, like I said, we won time of possession, right? We won a turnover battle. We were better and more efficient in red zone, even though we only had one touchdown. We beat them in rushing yards and passing yards and total yards. We beat them in plays. We beat them in third down efficiency, and we beat them in the final score. So what else you want to really ask from a football team that you want to win every game? Mm-hmm. That's my whole point. That's why I don't understand why people are like, oh, well, it looked like this, it looked like that. But it's like, it looks like they have a way to win every single time. I mean, if you watch it, most of the analysts is still like, yeah. But it's some few converters. Rex Ryan, Colin Cowherd. Who else is kind of leaning towards it? You better watch out for Caleb moments now. It's a few of them that's still kind of like, okay, we see what it is. If this is all we get this season from Caleb, we see the next step. We see stage 2 already. So stage 3 coming next year is unfolding. If you don't try to jump on it now, this Bears team and this Caleb Williams and this Ben Johnson thing, you're going to be the ones people going to look at and go back and do how Charles Barkley do Shaq all the time. And they do them and they say, we got these sticky notes and stuff y'all said early in the season that we want to go back and revisit these videos of y'all saying one thing and now y'all want to jump on because they in the NFC Championship or they in the, you know what I mean? Like that point. But I mean, as a fan, it's split the same way too. I see a lot of fans like, can we just have a blowout game? You're breaking my heart. And I'm like, what was worse? Going into overtime against Minnesota and losing last year? What was worse? Like losing 10 straight weeks? How was your health? As they say, give me a heart attack. 8-1. Because you know what? I get resurrected every time we got a W at the end of the game. I come back, I'm praise dancing the whole 9 because I'm like, okay, that's exactly what I need. 1 point, 100 points. I want my team to win. And yes, I want guys to do individually great things. I want Caleb to throw 300 yards, 350 for 4 touchdowns. I want Roma Dunze to go for 250 and 3 catches touchdowns. And I want DJ to throw 2 touchdowns and catch. I want all these things to happen for my team in the game. But at the same time, if Caleb Williams was throwing for 7% and we was 3-7, what would we be saying? We're like, well, we need to figure out what's going on with the Bears because Caleb is throwing 70%. He's completed 70% of his passes, but they're still losing. What's the problem? Who is here? You know what I mean? You'll come up with a whole nother scenario. So my whole thing is, we knew that the 70% was kind of a bold prediction. We all said that early on, like that'd be hard. What we say when we did the reaction to that
Right.
preseason was, I'm thinking 62 may be a good number. 65.
Yeah.
Like we was pushing it like sub 70, but highest is mid 60, maybe a twinge above. So for him to be 61, 62 for us, it's like, all right, cool. You doing that and winning and not getting sacked?
Right. And when the moment Ben Johnson mentioned 70%, everybody just stuck. That's the end all be all. When we talked about how many quarterbacks actually did that last season, and it wasn't many who actually did through for 70%. Like I would say, exactly whatever the fuck I want. First of all, I appreciate you jumping in, man. He said 70% is unattainable for him ever. That's just not who Caleb gonna be. That's not gonna be
right. Yeah.
I was listening to, like I said, I listen to everybody. And which podcast was it? I want to say Hogan Johns, but it might have been somebody on 670. I want to get a proper credit, but they said with the drops that Caleb has had, is the team has had, it's knocked him back 5% in his completion percentage. 5 whole percent. Now, after last game, Caleb fell below 60 for the first time. I think he's at 59 point something right now. That's 65% right there. That's league average. You good. That's perfectly fine. Now, I think he's good right now because, first of all, completion percentage is like any other stat. It can be misconstrued. We're 7-3 with whatever the fuck he's doing right now. You know what I mean? And it don't look bad. It don't look bad at all with the 59%, whatever he got. One of the critiques I had of him was I talked about this, I think, last week. Sacks need to get lower, and I did want his completion percentage to go up. I done 70%. That ain't gonna happen. I saw Kurt Warner tweet like, dude, I never had 70% in my career, and that's a Hall of Fame quarterback right there. So
no, like if you have a quarterback completing 7 out of 10 passes and you're on defense, you have a real problem on your hands. Like a real serious problem on your hands. So 70% throughout an 18-week season, 17 games, that is, you're elite. Like I would not like to see you across the field because they're going to be tired.
Like Jared Goff, that's a quarterback who does it. You know what I mean? That's
and he had a game last season where he was 18-18 at the end of the game. Like,
yeah,
that was crazy. But the thing is like, as far as Caleb Williams having 70% as a goal, I think we all kind of looked at that as like, 70%, that's over the hill. But at the same time, you shoot for the moon, you miss, you land amongst the stars.
Right.
So you shoot for 70%. And you fall short of it, and you hit 66, 67%, 66 and a half, you are a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not opposed to the ceiling being pushed to be that high.
Right.
But I'm also not mad at him for not obtaining it, is what I'm saying.
As a head coach, you're supposed to. You know what I mean? Set the bar, especially when you've been Johnson and you've seen the undisciplined culture that was coming here. You come in and you set these goals and you set the standard. Now, obviously, are you just gonna bench them or cut somebody for not? No, you coach them up and you keep coaching them up. I think another thing with this is 70%. Caleb still doesn't know exactly where to go with the ball at every point in time. Like Jared Goff, I just brought him up. He knows the playbook, like he knows it, so he knows it through and through, like the back of his hand. He can teach the playbook now. Caleb can't teach this playbook. He's not at that point yet. Once he's at that point where he can actually teach this playbook, I guarantee that ball will be coming out. And Ben Johnson about to talk about it when we play him next after we done with this little conversation. Wes, you mentioned something when you was talking about people having an issue with how we win in games. You know what I mean? The way I look at it is the Chicago Bears, like, people still don't think we're good, right? And I'm just going to talk about the offense. We can talk about the defense. First of all, what Dennis Allen is doing, Marcus Mixon, you talked about it. I think the exoticness, the stuff that he's doing with those safety blitzes, he's doing that because he has to. He
Right.
doing it more because he has to. You're not getting pressure with your front four. But the offense, we're top 5 in a lot of categories. So if we're top 5 in those guys, where are the teams that supposedly are better than us? Like, what are they doing? Then you know what I mean? Like, don't make sense if this is not a good football team, and we're putting up the numbers that we're putting up. Show me the good ones then. Where are the good ones? They better be top 4. Because if we, you know what I mean, they better be up there with us in the top 5. Don't give me some team with, I don't know, explosive plays at, the bottom half of the league, and you telling me like, come on now, like, which we was trying to defend. Give us some credit somewhere.
Right. I think for us, where we stand in that conversation, I think it's a lot of recency bias. Like, for example, like the Eagles can win 17-13 against somebody, and they'll look at it completely different as Bears winning 17-13 against somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, or 17-14, whatever. But they don't, like, if the Eagles just do enough to get the win out of the way, they don't look at them the same because they feel like that's the floor for them. But for us, they treat it like that's the ceiling. Like, they worked as hard as they can to squeak out 17 points. Whereas, like, the Eagles only needed to put up 17 points. So I feel like definitely a conversation that's kind of biased just based on, what we seen from teams and stuff last year. But you also look at this Bears team, and it is completely different than what we seen last year, like, through and through. So that's kind of what my point is on it. Is just like, how can you not make it real when even like the meat and potatoes of what build up this team are not the same as what it was last year? You know what I'm saying? Like, from the head coach to the majority of the staffing to, like, we got a lot of the same players, but they playing a completely different brand of football right now. So I feel like I'm kind of just looking at last year and kind of trying to, like, just lock it in the box and put it away, because you can't really judge anybody from last year.
Nope. We talked about that too. We definitely talked about that. A lot of people, they were picking and choosing who they wanted to hold account, like who they wanted to put last year on, and who they gave a pass for last year. Certain players got a pass, certain players that they didn't get passed. Caleb is one that did not get a pass, which I thought he played pretty fucking good given the circumstances. But I mean, look. The whole interior, from the left guard to the right guard, different. They weren't here last year. Even left tackle now. He was here, but he didn't play. Nope. Grady Jarrett, Dio Dangbo, he's out now. But it's like you said, there's a lot of new pieces that's playing pivotal roles for this team. Fucking OZ
Nathan
wasn't here. Luther Colston. Nashon wasn't here. And if we gonna get into him a little bit more later. But it's different, and then not to mention the entire fucking coaching staff, which I think is the most important change of this entire team. Speaking of coaching staff, Ben Johnson spoke today. Caleb spoke as well. They always speak on Wednesdays, but when Ben speaks, we listen. He talked about a lot of stuff. He talked about a lot of stuff that we gonna comment on once he's done, but I can't wait to get y'all fellas' opinion on some of this stuff that was talked about in this press conference. We're going to get into it after Ben Johnson finishes. Here's Ben Johnson today.
Really good Pittsburgh team coming in town Sunday. Very physical, very well coached, all 3 phases. We're really excited about this opportunity. So go ahead and open it up.
Hey Ben, I'm curious what your evaluation has been of your team around halftime, like the middle 8 of the game. As you probably look to put some of these teams away earlier as a goal, I'm assuming. Just what has been your thought about how you guys have handled it before?
Well, I know during the bye week, when I looked at the first 4 games, I actually felt pretty good in those first 4 games of how we were scoring points before halftime and how we were coming out of half on both sides of the ball. Since the bye week, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I have not felt that same level of success. So that's something that we can improve on. I know we've had a number of opportunities on offense to score some points before halftime, and we haven't gotten
That's
that
probably
job
the only
done.
thing
It's
that
been a
got
while
worse
since
after the
we've
bye
done
week.
that. And then defensively, I feel like we've given up just a few, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown before half as well. Like I said, I got to go back and look at it, but that's an area that, I think it was a couple of games ago. It was the Giants, right? They doubled up on us. They scored before half, and then after, and so that's how games can go sideways in a hurry. Is when you look up and 17-7, and then it's tied up real quick. So something that we can improve on.
What does it say about the team that so many different guys have contributed and made plays with the game on the line at the end, and not necessarily stars? Like you have Jake Moody winning a game, you have Josh Blackwell blocking a field goal.
Oh shit, I forgot about Jake Moody.
We've got
I
a lot
wanted
of
to
depth
get that in before we
on this
started.
team.
And
I think we have a lot of guys that as a coaching staff, we by design we put them in some challenging situations from the springtime through training camp, and now when they get in those situations, they're ready for it. We talk all the time about being able to handle pressure, being poised, and I think they rise to the occasion. And so I think that's our entire team. I think that's part of our identity and who we are, and really proud of the guys for handling those situations so far.
Ben, through your lens, how would you describe Cairo's value to this team?
Well, I think when you get voted captain by your peers, I think that says a lot. We had a number of really good special teams players, and yet he was the one that got the most votes to be special teams captain. And when you see how they react in the locker room to him receiving a game ball or making one of those game-winning kicks, I think it's pretty special. So when he talks, they listen. He's been around this league for a long time. And I think he's been a really good influence for our special teams unit in general.
In your role, this is the first time you've kind of had oversight of a kicker in ways that are more meaningful. How do you, as a head coach, go about calibrating your meter between concern and confidence as you go through the ebbs and flows with a kicker?
Well, I think the experience level with him gives you a good feel for his track record, and I think you kind of know what you're going to get.
Cairo was cut
after
before.
the game
People
last week. You get a really good feel going into that game with how they're kicking in pregame, and so that helps build some confidence of what we feel comfortable with putting them in certain situations. And I think he's done a really nice job since he came back healthy.
Luke Burton is, since he got healthy again, playing about half the time. How has he emerged, or how have you seen him emerge during that playing time? And specifically Sunday, was some of it too, the OZ snap count was way down. Was that just kind of a result of the previous game in the draft?
Well, I think it's you get what you earn, and I think he's earned the increased snaps. It's something we evaluate each week. What does practice look like? How are these guys through the course of the week? Are they making plays or not? And he's steadily climbed. It's the route running detail that's showing up, the consistency and making sure his alignments are right, his assignments. He's doing a real good job with that, and it's a credit to the receiving room. The vets are showing him the way, and then Randall L. and Robbie Picasso. They do a great job meeting with him and making sure he knows what he has going on, and so he understands that. And as a young rookie, I think he's progressing nicely.
When it comes to pressure, sorry, go ahead, Brad.
No, go ahead.
When it comes to pressures, quick pressures versus blitz pressure versus standard 4-man rush, they obviously have a high quick pressure rate. What are your talking points this week for your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, they got some werewolves on the outside. That's what that shows up. They have some of the between 56 and 90. I mean, it's some of the best first steps I think you'll see in this league. And so when you have both sides that you're concerned about, that's where you got to be pretty creative as a play designer to make sure that they don't affect the game.
Yep.
In a negative
and
fashion.
Darnell.
So I think those guys, they hop off the tape immediately, both in the run game and in the passing game. Like I said before, it's a physical unit. They do a great job in the inside, clogging it up and not allowing you to get them off the line of scrimmage. And then those guys on the edge, I think they do a phenomenal job and put a lot of stress on the quarterback. So we got to be very disciplined in the depth of the pocket. From a quarterback perspective, make sure we're not getting too deep because they can run around and tackle in a hurry. It doesn't matter who you are in this league. They're darn good players.
What elements of Mike Tomlin's success over the years stand out to you most?
The fact that he hadn't had a losing season, right? I mean, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible to think that he's been a head coach as long as he has, and just
Shit
keeps
is
churning
insane.
out wins.
With all the
I mean,
different
that's-
quarterbacks as
he
he's
sets the
had,
bar very
Mitchell
high,
Trubisky,
and nothing but
Kenny
respect
Pickett.
for him, how he goes about his business. He holds his players accountable. I think you saw it even this week, with some of the quotes talking about a player getting spit at and his reaction to it. I mean, he's 100% right as far as I'm concerned. I think he hit the nail on the head. And he just keeps it real and authentic at all times. So the players respect that. You can tell that they play hard. The film's always the resume of a coach is how I feel. And when his players are playing as hard and consistent as they do for as long as he's been doing it, I think that's a huge credit to him.
What do you appreciate about?
Are you as a competitor that would be disappointed if you don't have a chance to play against Rodgers?
Well, I'm not playing, so I'm okay.
You know what I mean.
But I've got a lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers. He's done this at a high level for an incredible amount of time, and if he's ready to go this week, would love nothing more to compete against him.
Do you have enough sample size to know how much the offense would change or not change if Rudolph has to play?
I think it's too soon to say that. Yeah, I mean, he got in for the second half of last game for a little bit, but I think Arthur's been doing this for a long time in Tennessee and Atlanta, and so I think there's a pretty good track record of what he wants to be about. I just keep talking about the physicality. Like, that's what this game's going to be, on both sides of the ball, really all three phases. That's what they are. That's what we believe we are as well. And so we're going to have to counter that.
With Kyler's window opening, what do you sort of anticipate shaking out the nickel? And has CJ done enough that you want to get both those guys out?
Yeah, I mean, I think CJ is definitely a playmaker. And so he's a guy that we're going to want on the field. And when we feel good about Kyler being ready, we'll make sure we have a good plan in place in terms of how we set that up.
Caleb has expressed his appreciation for Rodgers' game in the past. Do you see any similarities with how Caleb plays position compared to Rodgers?
Shut up. Shut up.
I'd probably not right now. I think he's elite right now at getting the ball out of his hands. I think he's got if he doesn't have the fastest snap,
appreciate you
time in the league right now,
he's
got to be close. So he's doing a really good job spitting it out. He's accurate. I think our guy's the same way, but we probably hold on to it a little bit more. Just where we are in the offense, and as we're learning and we're growing, I think we'll gravitate more towards getting it out faster the more reps we have. But, But yeah, I mean,
he's gonna
guy's
hold the
done it,
ball
like I
long.
said, at a high level for a long time. So
Rodgers is
it's a good guy to
99,000 years
look up to
old.
for a young quarterback.
We asked you about Tom Brady earlier, with him having an investment in the team you're playing. Do you need to remind anybody in the building that the color guy this weekend's brother plays for you?
Yeah, we'll be mindful of that as well. I think we had them a few weeks ago also. So I'm sure he wouldn't do anything like that though, right?
And with Kyler and Jalen, how do you keep your tabs on their readiness in the coming weeks? Or you just rely on support staff to let you know when they're good to go?
Yeah, we have a plan. We have a plan in place. It's something that we had a lot of trust in the support staff, just like you mentioned, between the training room and then our sports science department. We'll make sure that we're acclimating them properly. And last thing we want to do is put a player in a spot where he could potentially hurt himself again. So we'll be very smart about that.
Came back one game.
I know that they want to be out there and they're pushing hard to
Tyler did the
be game
same
ready,
thing.
whether that's this week or not. But
TJ.
We're doing all of our due diligence to make sure we're smart about it.
Does the depth that you have at that position, though, in the secondary give you maybe a little bit longer of a leash before activating those guys, potentially the need to not feel to rush them back?
Well, I mean, we feel good about the depth in all of our
Who asked that
positions,
question?
and we've been saying all
That
along.
was my question.
Guys that are on the practice
Courtney
squad
Cronin.
to guys that were special teamers to start the season, whenever their number gets called and we need to count on them for however long we need to count on them, they need to be ready. And so I think that's been an example of that. I think we've had some good play there in the back end. McLeod's been a guy that comes to mind. He goes out there and he battles every single nickel, outside corner.
Wow.
I'm really proud of what he's been able to put on tape, and he just competes his tail off. And so Yeah, we clearly want them back. They're really good players, and they will certainly help us out. But I think the guys in their stead have been doing a heck of a job. Thank you.
We really want them back. So you can look at this a couple different ways. And before we get into this whole Nation and Tyreek and CJ and Kyler and who gonna move over, who hit the like button, people. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please help us. We on a road to what we at? What we going? 600, 700?
600.
600.
6.
Shout out Jermaine too. That's my guy.
For sure. Let me put him back up there. Like I said, appreciate you being in the chat, man. Hit that like button for us and subscribe, man. Pay that toll.
Do that 40.
Yeah, we on the road to 600.
Real
So
quick.
help us get there. It don't cost you nothing. Just a little button press. Do it. Help us grow. Get us in other people's algorithms so they can come over here and chop it up and talk Bears football with us twice a week, Wednesday nights like tonight, and post game shows after every single game. We will be going live this Sunday after we beat the Steelers. Fellas, we got a dilemma on our hands. Who would have thought Nation Wright would be playing this way? He was cut from Minnesota, which we didn't even bring that up. Yeah, we should have brought that up to him. Like, thank you, Rat.
I think we did. I think we did the first game.
The first
somebody
one.
definitely.
Yeah. We brought up the first game, but he a bear now.
Yeah,
He's a
thank
true
you,
bear now.
Vikings. We'll take him. I think he was on a practice squad too, so y'all weren't even using him to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Nation Wright. The thing with this, like I said, you could look at it one or two ways. Maybe this is a good problem to have. Maybe it can cause some issues because we are week, what is this, 11, 12?
Week 12.
Week 12.
Oh yeah.
Nation Wright has played all season. Every game, bro. And he ain't just like playing. He tied for second in the league for interceptions right now.
And before you continue, I'm sorry to cut you off. Why are you on that point? Because Wes, you say this a lot, and I really want to say this right now.
It's your first day, Marcus.
Whenever time, hold on.
It's your first day.
You always say especially when it's post game, you always say, and we not playing with our starters. And I always come in the comments and say, he's a starter now. Like, we're not going to say Nashawn's a bench player anymore. You're a starter. You didn't play it the whole season. You are officially now our starting cornerback. Congratulations. Does it mean our starting cornerback core is maybe a little bit weaker? Fine, whatever. But you are a starter. I do not want to classify him as a non-starter until it becomes official.
Your paperwork is accepted and it's approved. It's stamped. We will no longer say he's not our starter. He's definitely a starter somewhere on that secondary for sure.
He is, but is he though? And that's what we're about to talk about because that man JJ coming back. He's coming back. They activated him off the his 21-day window last week. He practiced today. Kyler got activated today for his 21-day window. These guys are coming back. And Wes, when you I know we just classified Nation Wright as a starter, but you wasn't lying when you said what you were saying either. We don't got our starters because guess what? Them fellas waiting and itching to get back on the field and resume their positions at their respectful spots as the number one corner and the number one nickel corner on his team. With that comes some issues. Somebody got to move. Somebody got to become a bench player. Somebody got to move to the pine. And it's between Tyreek Stevenson and Nation Wright. So we took the time. Shout out to Marcus Mixed It. He went ahead and put this together. Look, y'all, and I can't wait to see where y'all allow with this. If Jalen Johnson comes back, when Jalen Johnson comes back, Who are you moving to the Pine, and why?
I don't want to go first on this.
Oh, it's easy for me. You know who going to the Pine. I know. It's sorry. Like I'm not that kind of coach. You know, I don't care if you is my kid. If it's a better kid on the team, you going to the bench, son. So I'm sending Tyreek to the bench. Like we'll find some rotation for him, but Nashawn is what DA wants out there. JJ is what every defensive coordinator wants out there. And like I said, it could be a rotational thing. It could be a rotational thing. I could do some rotational things at that number 2 spot, keep them fresh, something like that. But after last game, I know, like before that, last week when we were talking, we were saying like, futures and I was gonna keep the kids we draft. Like I'm not kicking Tyreek off the team at all.
Absolutely,
I'm not kicking him off the team. No, not even close to even thinking about it, or not saying like we ain't gonna find some way to keep him there with us. But I'm reading what you got up there. I'm reading what you got up there. And the proof is in the pudding. If anything, statistically they equal. But like I said, who fits our defensive coordinator better? And like you said earlier on, Mark Rob, Dennis Allen is doing stuff a certain way because he has to. He don't have the players he kind of want and the talent kind of want in those areas. What's the best way to make his defense work the right way? You go put the players that he likes and got in that kind of field. And Nashawn is it. Like I said, we can figure out a rotational spot. We can figure out some certain downs, some down packages, some put them out there and kind of mix it up, kind of how you do a running backs, pretend that, I mean, hey, look, we throwing Tyson Bagent out there on offense on 2-3 plays a game right now, just to try to confuse it and do kind of thing. And like I said earlier on, I said Dennis Allen, and I'm gonna go back to this because you weren't here, Marcus Mixon. So let me tell you about Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen's acronyms for this season. Remember the acronyms for this season from hold
on. You?
No.
It don't start with a U.
That's Ben.
That's Ben. Ben. Hold on. Wait. What's Ben? Is it UEA?
UEI.
UEI. Okay, that's Ben.
Yes.
Fuck. What the fuck was? Okay, go ahead.
Dennis Allen is DAI. Those are his acronyms for his defense. His defense is disruptive, aggressive, and intentional. They it ain't no finesse. They gonna go. They like you said, they ball hawks. They trying to get to the ball. It's either get to the quarterback or don't. It's you know what I mean. And they gonna be aggressive on every play. They gonna be aggressive. I mean, we brought it up in past weeks. Even with some of these completions or some of these runs, it's like a few games, don't get me wrong, a few plays, some big plays have been ran, but who hasn't? Yeah. But most of the time, this secondary is on the ball catcher. Like we not, remember, I think who was it? I think it was JJ that was on the ground against Green Bay, and what's the name just kind of walked off on him. Remember that play you couldn't get over? But we ain't having a lot of that this season. It's kind of like, okay, they still have to work. There's not really a lot of, and like I said, it's some big plays that everybody got on them. Don't get me wrong. Ain't nobody's perfect yet, but for me, give me Nashawn, man. Give me Nashawn. Nashawn got the size. I mean, obviously got the stats, and he got the chip on the shoulder, which with the whole coaching thing and all that kind of stuff. He got a point to prove, and then it's like you said, Marcus mixed it. Ain't no a starting job is gone. I just want to raise my hand and say a starting job is gone. And we said it before the season started when they was talking about how good Nashawn Wright was in the preseason. Like, does this mean that Tyreek needs to be watching himself? And we knew one thing and one thing only in the preseason, that the number 1 cornerback spot was locked up. Everything else was up for grab. Number 2 could be Nashawn. It could be whoever. I mean, until we heard the news about Zach Frazier. What'd you say
again?
I said Terrell Smith before the ACL.
Terrell Smith before the ACL. Like, it was who wants to? It was like left tackle in a way. The rest of the offensive line is straight. Who wants his left tackle job? Because that's probably where you're gonna get on the field, and that's how it is. And for me, history is a thing. Tyreek, he done did some bad things in his relationship, and we kind of ain't really forgot. when they shine right with us and the Bears, I think he's done, his due diligence. He's been true and faithful and stepped in. So that's why I'm going with it. So y'all can take over from here. But that's my whole spiel.
I'll jump in.
That's a hell of a spiel. That look,
Yeah.
great points. Great points. Go ahead, Marcus. Mixed it.
Really, shout out to Chef West because he cooked on that one for real.
Yeah.
Honestly, let me start off with this. Last week, 7 days ago, around this time, I said that Nashawn Wright was the weaker cornerback between himself and Tyreek Stevenson.
Yep.
And I told y'all my bold prediction for the game was for Nashawn Wright to get a pick and shut me up because y'all stood by him so hard and said, I don't know, I feel like he's been having a better season than what you're giving him credit for.
Yeah.
Y'all were absolutely right. He shut me up. So I'm going to start respecting Nashawn Wright from this day forth. But I think Wes, I think you did make a bigger point, and shout out to True Pilgrim in the chat too, because I feel like True Pilgrim, he said Tyreek Stevenson with no question, basically. I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say I'm kind of at the point where I'm on the fence because if you look at their stats, and I can go back and look, game film, the all 22 and all of that stuff. But in terms of impact, I feel like they both coming through in really similar ways. Nashawn Wright got the picks. Tyreek got the pass defenses on top of the 2 forced fumbles, and he recovered 2 as well. Nashawn Wright, but when I watch these games and I see Nashawn Wright, is like, yeah, I feel like what I'm doing subconsciously is I'm giving him less credit because I've seen Tyreek at that CB2 spot.
Yeah,
so
I'm
like
glad you
I look at it like that because when Tyreek gives up a big play, I'm looking at it like you supposed to be filling in for CB1 right now. That ain't getting it done. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at Nashawn Wright, or at least when I looked at Nashawn Wright, I'm gonna speak for myself. I looked at it as like this is a person that's supposed to be on the bench that's elevating to a starter spot. He's going to get picked on. He's going to get beat and stuff like that. But these are his stats through every game this season. He's played every week. Tyreek missed a week. But they have both made pretty similar impact to the team, which I think is very interesting because I feel like you gotta weigh Tyreek a little bit heavier, especially considering this fact that this was his spot and he had to fight for it preseason. And now a guy that's standing on the other side of the field from you is putting up comparable numbers. And to speak more about what Wes said, Nashawn does fit the archetype of what Dennis Allen wants on his defense. Somebody that he's going to try to be sticky. Yeah, he does kind of embody that. I might give up a few plays, but he's not afraid to go and try to attack the ball and try to make it big.
And to take it a step further with that, Zay Frazier, long, tall corners. That ain't Tyreek. Now, Tyreek ain't small, but he ain't long and tall. You seen that interception he got in the end zone on Jordan Addison?
He ain't even jump.
He stretched. You like, God damn, that's a long motherfucker. But keep going.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, I think that's gonna end up becoming really important. I feel like I don't really see Nashawn Wright really regressing as far as the stats go that he's put up on the season so far. I don't feel like throughout the rest of the season, if he ends up taking that CB2 spot, I don't feel like he's just going to start seeing the regression. I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like Jalen Johnson coming back from IR, I feel like early on teams going to try to pick on him and see how healthy they feel like he is.
Really?
I feel like yeah, I really feel like that's going to end up being a factor. I feel like I don't feel like he's not gonna overcome it though. Like I feel like teams are still gonna try to test those waters a little bit though. But if you're looking at the two, like realistically,
sound like you going with Nashawn. I mean,
yeah,
you sending Tyreek to the
like
bench.
I feel like I kind of want to, because I feel like it really kind of comes down to bringing DA's defense back to what he potentially wants it to be. Like we just talked about all of these simulated pressures and stuff that he's trying to do and stuff to account for a weaker pass rush. But at the same time, we also spoke about him playing his cornerbacks 12 yards off the ball and stuff too. And we talked really heavy early in the season on about how this is going to be one-on-one on the island, and we're going to be playing a lot of man defense and stuff like that. But we seeing these players play a lot of off ball and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering, what I'm looking for now is who's going to be the stronger between Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson when it comes to pushing a receiver off of their spot and making the receivers uncomfortable and stuff, because that's something we know Jalen Johnson can do. So if we can have a cornerback that can match that with him, or at least match 75% of that with him, then I feel like Dennis Allen is going to kind of start coming out and what could be kind of his peak form for the season as far as what he's setting up for this defense.
So all in all, so you sending Tyreek to the bench?
I probably would, yeah. I'm still pretty close to being 50-50, but I'm definitely leaving Nashawn Wright side right now.
Michael Lamoth. Appreciate you jumping in here, man. I ain't seen you in here. Hit the like button for us and subscribe. He says, close one in the cornerback battle between these two. Reek redeeming himself regardless after that Hail Mary debacle last year. And shout out to Marcus Mixed for the graphics. Didn't realize the stats were this close. Like, look,
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I damn
that's
sure
why I was
did.
talking so much last week. But after seeing them this close, I'm like, oh, y'all shouldn't have said nothing.
Look, I got something I just wanted to put out there. So these two cornerbacks right here. One of them got 36 tackles, one of them got 43. One of them got a forced fumble, one of them got none. Both of them got 4 interceptions, and both of them got a pick 6. Y'all know who those two cornerbacks are?
Who?
That's Nashawn Wright this season, and that's Jalen Johnson's Pro Bowl season. And he beat him by almost 10 tackles and one forced fumble. And that was Jalen Johnson's Pro Bowl season.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I went and looked while y'all was going. I went and looked at Jalen Johnson's numbers, and I just want to say one thing about Jalen Johnson. And the spot is yours when you come back, sir. But you better come back, and that's all I'm telling you right now, because you make a lot of fucking money. We talking about these dudes. Neither one of these dudes making anything close to what he's making. So when you come back, sir, you better come back. Like, you absolutely have to come back, and because look. This ain't Matt Eberflus. This is Ben Johnson talked about. They asked something about CJ, GJ, and Kyler Gordon earlier in this a couple weeks ago. He said, look, I don't know Kyler that well. He's been out of the building, just like Jalen Johnson, TJ. They've been hurt. They have not been around, so I really don't know them that well. Now, it ain't much, but I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot. He knows these dudes.
Using him as a big weapon too, though. Even without having known him that well, he spoke on what he felt like Kyler can do as a nickel. And
Dennis couldn't wait to get his hands on Kyler. You know what I mean? That was, I think before the season, he spoke about that. He mentioned Kyler for real. Bear Truth jumping in here. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. We talking about this. It's a hot topic right now. Nashawn, Tyreek Stevenson. I know you're gonna get your opinion on it in the chat, but we talking about who we moving to the bench when Jalen Johnson come back. And fellas, look, it's a lot of good arguments, and it sucks because Nashawn has been playing such good football. Now, he's been getting picked on a lot, like you said, Marcus Mixed it. When Tyreek was number 2 to Jalen Johnson, he got picked on a lot. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? If you know number 2, you're gonna get picked on. They're gonna scheme against you. 4 takeaways. Jalen Johnson's career high is 4 takeaways. You know what I mean? One thing we do well right now, outside of everything else on defense, is taking the ball away. Tyreek and Jalen Johnson, they just don't take the ball away as well as Nahshon Wright does. I mean, he's the long corner that y'all keep talking about. Dennis Allen, that's what Dennis Allen wants. That's why Zay Frazier is here on his team. That's why we drafted him when we drafted him. He likes long cornerbacks to do what he did against Jordan Addison in the end zone last week.
So let me ask you a question. My bad for interrupting you. Let me ask you a question before you move on. Would you rather have 4 picks or 9 pass defense at 10 weeks in the season? By the way, we're not talking about a full scope of the season. We're talking about where we are right now. He's got 9 pass deflections, and I feel like that's a big deal too. So, and that's what I would kind of struggle with this, is trying to weigh Nahshon Wright's picks over the pass deflections. And don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, I did take the 4 picks over. You know, and that's kind of why even Nahshon Wright's way.
You definitely took the 4 picks.
But to be that sticky is still like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I want in a cornerback, is somebody that's going to stick to a receiver, not get lost in coverage. And they've both gotten beat multiple times this season.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which one is the one that's less likely to get beat, if that makes sense.
If you're gonna say less likely to get beat, I'm gonna say Tyreek. I think Tyreek's a little more stickier than Nahshon. But he's opportunistic. I think he's more opportunistic than Tyreek is. But this is the thing. This is why, and I hear players say it all the time. You cannot get hurt. Now, injury is an injury, but you cannot allow your coach to see a guy like Nahshon. Like, fuck it. Nahshon might be better than you. Guess what? He not gonna know, because I ain't gonna ever lead a fucking game. You know, I'm not getting hurt. Remember when people criticized Caleb for not going out of bounds against, I think, was it the Ravens game on one of his scrambles, and he slid instead of going out of bounds. I'm like, y'all wanted him to get smoked. So what? Tyson can come in the game. I kept saying, look, I don't even fuck. You're not going to see him. He's gonna be on the bench. Like I just said, he might be better than me. So a linebacker, running back might be better. You not gonna know, because he ain't gonna ever get in the game, because I'm always gonna be here. And that's just what happens when you take as much time off as Jalen Johnson. Now, Jalen Johnson's spot is sealed. He's solidified. He'll be here. But like I just said, they're gonna be watching you too, sir. As far as these two go, I'm gonna just say it right away. I'm going Tyreek. Nahshon, it just sucks. This is why I like to talk about it, because it does suck to have to move a guy like Nahshon to the bench with all he's done, especially when takeaways is the only bright spot, in my opinion, on his defense. You know what I mean? You're taking 4 interceptions to his 1. Now the forced fumbles, I think he peanut punching the ball out, but Nahshon to me is a little less, his IQ a little lower than Tyreek's. When you're talking about coverage, like the touchdown they did throw on him to Jordan Addison, the one he did catch last week, Nahshon was just he was a little late getting over there, because he was holding. I forgot who he was guarding. Maybe he held him way too long and realized, oh shit, and he's so fucking long, he still almost got there. That's the give and take. Now, when y'all talk about rotation, putting him on the rotation, I don't know if they gonna have Jalen Johnson playing every snap when when he first come back. So they might do. I don't know which one of y'all brought up the rotation. I think it was US, or I don't know which one of y'all
can come up with some type of rotation, because like you said before we started getting into this, JJ played 1 game and he was done. Tyler 1 game and he was done. You got their backups. You got their doppelgangers. I don't care how you want to look at it. You got the people, especially at those 2 positions. That slot and that cornerback, like we said. Nahshon probably ain't Jalen Johnson, but he's like you said, Mark. He's a starting cornerback. And the same thing with CJGJ. Like, he played 90% of the snaps in the secondary in the Super Bowl last season. So he's a starter, and he came in instant impact. So it's not like we're gonna have that drop off. Like, remember saying, Mark, before we did the season, we talked to all those other teams about how our depth chart works against theirs. Like, you probably got an A+ at 1, but your backup is a C-, D+, our backups are starters basically at this point when it's come to the secondary coming back healthy. So you can have that little rotation to get them in and just keep it going. Because just in case, like I said, what if, like you said, what if somebody do get injured again or something like whatever happens, or a concussion protocol that comes up and you're like, oh shit, now you got to play the whole next game, but you didn't wear him out after coming back off IR in that first game because you know what I mean. Whatever happened, you can play. You can use that depth, and that's what we was talking about. That's what the team talked about early on while we was getting all these pieces and these adding these random kind of guys that had the same traits and sizes as the people in front of them. It's like, just do what he do. Be his shadow. I don't know if y'all seen that TV show Silo on Apple TV. It's like the person in charge is like the president, right? And the president has somebody called the shadow. It's not a vice president, it's a shadow. So if something happened to the president, he knows everything he does. They eat breakfast at the same time, lunch at the same time, go to work, do something, know all the same passwords, all that. So if something happens to that first kind of president guy, the shadow automatically takes his place and keeps going straight out the gate.
And they keep going. You don't miss a beat.
You don't miss a beat. And they do have like an assistant president, and all that, but they got a shadow. Even the chef in the kitchen, the head chef in the kitchen got a shadow. Somebody who knows all of their knowledge. So once, or if something tragic did happen to them, that person steps in literally the same day. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm the new head chef, Wes, and you know, we're gonna get straight back to it because you know, the previous chef was, you know, it's just like that. And that's how I feel about it. And it's like, and for the whole thing about pat downs to interceptions, hey, the defense job is the get the opposing offense off the field like that. Get them off the field like that. What to me, one bad down versus, I mean, keep taking the ball away, keep getting hungry. I mean, that's what made Jalen Johnson so excited. I mean, you seen JJ talking on the podcast with Richard Sherman. Man, I wasn't even supposed to be right there. I was supposed to be in Palm. You see Kevin Byard, some of his picks, he fading off his responsibility, undercutting routes. I mean, Tyreek did one too. I think against the Raiders too, where he undercut the route. Like, where they're just knowing what they're supposed to do and doing it, like, go take the ball away. Because if it's like, damn, if I throw it right there, I wonder if I'm looking this way, if I turn and I throw it this way, is it Nashawn right or is it Tyreek? Because if it turn, I just fling it at it's Nashawn. It got to be a hell of a damn ball, or he gonna stretch out
longer.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
Mama Blues, appreciate you pulling up. Hit that like button. We already know you subscribe, so but we for everybody else who's just joining us right now, we talking about who is moving to the bench between Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson. Wes bumping Tyreek to the bench. Marks mixed it, bumping Tyreek to the bench. I'm gonna keep Tyreek in. I'm kind of where Bear Truth is with this one. Free safety Byard, strong safety Brisker, CJ cornerback, JJ cornerback.
Brisker and CJ splitting.
Slash. Okay, yeah. Cornerback Jalen Johnson, cornerback 2 Tyreek Stevenson. I'm kind of right there too. And like you said, just let it play out and let's see how they do. Now,
you missing somebody. That's all the whole thing. It's like you got to slash me a Nashawn Wright in there. Like, come on,
get him in the rotation.
So give me a slash Stevenson slash Nashawn. Like if you're gonna slash, you know, Brisker and Gordon, can I get a?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not opposed to that take. If that was our secondary lineup, I really wouldn't be mad at it, even if I'm talking about benching Tyreek. And to be honest with you, because you made a good point, Mark, is Tyreek is a little bit higher than Nashawn in terms of IQ. The moment that you said that, the first thing I thought about was when he I don't remember what week it was, but I think he bit down on the play action and left somebody wide.
Oh, that was fuck. Well, who was a weak quarterback too? Oh, what game was that? It wasn't Bengals. It was before the Bengals game.
Yeah, it was definitely before that game.
Who did we play before the Bengals game?
Was it the Raiders?
No, it wasn't the Raiders. It was no, it was. Was it? I think it was the Bengals game.
When what happened? I missed it.
It was
kind of bit down on the play action and left a wide open receiver
on the left side. No, it was Lad McConkey. Who got left? It was
that's exactly
Luke
what
McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey.
Luke
It
McCaffrey.
was
McCaffrey.
Washington.
Washington.
Yes,
Washington.
it was
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what it
and
was.
that was like that's like kind of like an extreme example of
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to just like hold that against him forever. But that's kind of like I said, that's why I'm kind of on the fence about it, because you want a cornerback to be sticky. And I feel like when it comes to Tyreek and Nashawn, Tyreek has that over Nashawn. But at the same time, where Nashawn doesn't have that, he makes up for that by always being around the ball in the opportune times. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's being there to recover a fumble, or like he did with Jaden Daniels, or whether it's there to jump an in route and get a pick like he did before. He got a pick 6 this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's another thing. That man, and it, like I said, it sucks because Nashawn Wright has been so he scored points, man. He recovered the fumble. He was the only one near it when Jaden Daniels
he saw before Jaden. He saw before Jaden saw it. He
like,
saw before Jaden saw it come
his
out.
eyes was, you could tell like off that play, his eyes was on the ball the entire time. Like
let me get Mama Blues in here because she got an opinion. Sure, you can make a point for Wright, but Tyreek would have to be playing terrible to be benched over Wright. I feel the same way about Wright that I do about Bagent. They right where they need to be, and if we need them, we'll be good. Bagent. Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
that's too different.
What's Nashawn Wright's contract? How long?
I'm sure it's a 1 year,
1 year,
1 million or something. Like I don't think it's high. If you know that, I'll look it up. But go ahead.
He get free Italian beats for the year. He ain't even get paid. He's just out there playing with heart, man. Get off my man Bumper. He out there playing. And the thing about the whole thing with Tyreek is, I get what y'all saying about Nashawn, but this is like Nashawn Wright's first opportunity to be who Nashawn Wright actually think he is. Because if you go back, like you were just saying before, Marcus,
he's a third round pick.
He's a third round pick. I think he played before this. He played probably the same total amount of games that he played his entire career that he played with the Bears all in totality. And experience is everything. I mean, Ben Johnson talk about it all the time, experience and trust. And I think that's why when I said like, hey, I get Tyreek, I get the Poles investment, I get why the argument is standing there. Mm-hmm. But like we use a relationship analogy all the time. Hey, look. Tyreek is like somebody who cheated. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Nashawn Wright's been faithful. He's been bringing flowers. He don't bring you your favorite flowers all the time, but at least he bring you flowers every day. Like he may be late, but he don't ghost you. He may not talk to you all day, but he give you a good night. Tyreek has done some things too that's like, and like you said, that Commanders game, I think that was like his total of his 8th start or 8th game he ever played, and he got beat. I mean, it's like saying, he's basically kind of like a rookie out there playing QB1 behind, like trying to fill Jalen Johnson's shoes. And I mean, damn good job, dude. And it's like you as me watching it and knowing what this coaching staff is looking for, I get the Poles thing, but I think Poles' opinion and Poe's investment on certain things is going to go by the wayside because it's like, well, this is what we want and what we need to win. And that's why, and like you said, that's why they went out and got Zah Frazier in the 5th round instead of a running back. Like they saw what he is. I mean, if you go look at Zah Frazier's tapes at UTSA, he does the same thing Nashawn Wright. He'll ball hog. What he has 7 interceptions in 7 games or something like that. His first year at the Division I school. Just
something like that.
Something like that's what they look at Al Harris. That's Al Harris called him and said, hey, you see this dude? Watch this. And this is only in 7 or 8 games. He got 8 turnovers. You know what I mean? And then he's going up against Matthew Golden at UTS. Like that's something you can work with and work on and go with. And it's like with Tyreek, it's like I'm thinking he's not a piece that's going to continue to fit the puzzle when this thing start building out later on. And it's like if you put Nashawn Wright on the practice squad and see what happens. Like put him somewhere where somebody can pick.
He not going
be
practice
killing.
squad. There's no
You know what I
chance
mean?
he go practice.
I'm just
squad.
saying, like,
Yeah, he's gonna
don't
be signed immediately.
give him something. That's what I'm saying. So if you,
But I mean,
bench him
Tyreek
or-
would too. Tyreek would go.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is true, but
Tyreek could get signed too.
but and see, here's the kicker in the argument because I see Bear Truth.
Bear Truth. I was trying to get out. Yeah, go ahead.
Because Bear Truth is saying that just like if we consider the contracts alone, Tyreek, like Nashawn can come back for a lot less than what it would take for us to move off of Tyreek, especially where we drafted him. But how much do you weigh the fact that they stats at this point in the season, 10 weeks in, not only where, like you said, this is Nashawn Wright having a big opportunity, but this is also supposed to be Tyreek showing some resilience from a big drop in what seemed like a big drop in his confidence from last season post Hail Mary incident. So this is supposed to be a moment where it's like Tyreek can stand and say, no, I'm establishing myself. If I'm not CB1, I'm CB2 because Jalen Johnson is here. You know what I'm saying? But at past the midway point of the season, we're looking at somebody who has an opportunity that they've never had, and it's looked like they kind of chasing you down a little bit. So I do feel like that plays into account. Also, Bear Truth saying again, Nashawn Wright, 27 and having a journeyman type of career does play in to effect. And as far as CB's declining faster than any other position, I'm a young football fan, so I'm not educated enough to know that far. But I will say that that's something that's interesting. I'm gonna be looking out for that to see if I see any decline in what they play look like if they both still here next year.
So Bear Truth also brought up the point earlier. Let me go look for it. Oh, here. Tyreek is a second round investment.
Right.
I hate this, and I was just talking to my lady about this, but it happens a lot. It's happening with JJ McCarthy in Minnesota. It didn't really, the Colts kind of cut ties with Anthony Richardson, not cut ties, but brought in Danny Jones pretty fast. Performance over politics. Unfortunately, it's a lot of fucking politics that get played in the NFL. Now, whether you pay to do the big contract and they stink, you still gonna play them, even though this undrafted free agent is outplaying him big time. You know what I mean? You paid him 80 million or 100 million, they gonna play him. Or you drafted this dude in the first round and he stinks, you still gonna play him over the undrafted free agent, so to speak. I think that plays a big role here too, but also I think that's how Ryan Poles and them dudes think. But in my opinion, like I said earlier, based on this, right, like this, for me, I'm going Tyreek just solely based on, I think he'll be attached, like he'll play the position better than Nashawn Wright more often than not. That's just what I think. When it like cut everything out, the contracts, where these players was drafted, and they were, their journeys and all that. I do believe Tyreek is just the overall better cornerback. Now, look, I think the conversation, and we don't have it tonight, but we will have. I kind of touched on it earlier. I think the conversation really got to go towards Jalen Johnson. That's why I said when you come back, you better be back, because that is the dude that's getting paid. They don't keep paying his ass. We just talked about Zay Frazier. We just talked about Nashawn Wright, Tyreek Stevenson here, Terrell Smith, and we got another draft to go and another free agency to go through. They're not gonna keep paying you all that money, dude, if you're not living up to standards. Like Jalen Johnson went a long time without getting the first interception here. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm talking about Jalen Johnson, but I feel like that is a bigger conversation, because this one right here, I do think they're gonna go with Tyreek. Nashawn gonna come off the bench, and depending on how they do the snap count, I don't know if they're gonna bring Jalen Johnson back and play him like that, but I don't know. We gonna see though. We gonna see when. So let me ask y'all this: when do y'all think Jalen Johnson coming back?
First Packers game. That's what I'm going with. I think first Packers game only because I feel like as much as they might not admit to it in the media, we sitting at first in the division right now. I want to say 7th in the NFL and 3rd in the NFC. We looking at a real potential playoff push. So I feel like just like we know, they kind of feel like that they need a little bit of help in the secondary. So I feel like they kind of is going to try to leave him with a good amount of time to kind of get ramped up before we get into the postseason, because I feel like they at the point where they starting to envision that us being in the postseason is a reality. But I don't think
First Green Bay is how many games away is that?
2. We got Steelers and
games.
Eagles.
that's the end of it. That would be the end of his practice. I mean, his 21-day window.
So Steelers, Eagles, Packers. Wes, when you think Jalen coming back?
I'm right along with you, Marcus Mixon. I think it's gonna be a Packers game. I think it's gonna be I think that's when they both come back. I think that's when they're gonna try to bring that defense back full strength. I mean, like I said, the Steelers is like, I think that's too quick. The champs is like, let's not waste gas on them. Let's play our best up. We've been playing. Let's keep it close. Try to, do what we've been doing and squeak on out. But it's Green Bay. It's Green Bay. We know how Jalen Johnson feel about it. We know how Kyler Gordon feel about it. Those is true Bears. We want them out there, even if it's half snaps. We gonna figure, like I said, that's when you bring kind of like how they rotate those defensive linemen in and just try to keep that fresh legs to keep that push, that minimize that fatigue. You want them hitting hard, moving fast. You want GJ blitzing hard one down and then Kyler coming just as fast the next with no drop off. So I think that's the route to go. Like I said, maybe the Eagles, but it's like, let's say that's for the NFC Championship. Let's say that for the next time. That's how I feel.
I feel like doing it by the Eagles week is kind of doing it premature. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll look at it different if we lose to the Steelers or something, that we need to kind of try to maintain position or something like that. But I don't look at them as a team that's going to try to rush somebody back either. You know what I'm saying? We've dealing with multiple injuries since the start of the season. So, like, as far as what Jalen Johnson is, as far as like where I feel like maybe like that first Packers week is we gonna kind of start seeing that pitch count a little bit, and then we got the Browns in between. We see the Packers again. Maybe that second time we'll see full go Jalen Johnson.
That's interesting, especially because I've been seeing people say as early as this week. Now we got to remember he was questionable for the game last week. Obviously, that was just optics or whatever. They ruled him out shortly after, but I don't. So we got. I ain't gonna lie, I might Eagles. I'm kind of thinking Eagles. I feel like Green Bay. That's a little late. That's a little not late, so to speak, because we 7-3. You know what I mean? But if you activated him last week, he was questionable for who we played last week, Vikings game.
The Vikings.
Right? So that means he was thinking about it, Vikings. Okay, you didn't play him. You don't play him Pittsburgh, that's 2. You don't play him Philly, that's 3. I know. I feel like Jalen Johnson healthier than we think too. I think that, but
on social media he is. Shit.
Yeah.
On social he is.
But then again, Marcus Mixon, you brought up the point where you don't want to bring him back too quick, because I just talked about these dudes have came back, him and Kyler, TJ too. They've come back from injury and left again. You have the luxury. We keep talking about depth all fucking year, Wes. You do have the luxury to get it right this time, to make sure that groin or that hamstring, whatever, make sure it is right and fully good to go. So I'm gonna lean Eagles, but this coaching staff is different. Look, first of all, Ben Johnson is different. Tyreek Stevenson ass would have been benched after that Hail Mary game. He probably would have been benched for 2 games after that Hail Mary incident fucking around with Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
He snatched Braxton Jones off the field, which I've been pleading for. Not look.
Was it a drive that he got benched for the next game?
You say what?
Tyreek, was it a drive that he got benched for the next game? He just didn't start the game.
Yeah, I think he didn't play the first series.
The
first series or something like that.
But a lot of people was just asking us, Wes, in the chat, does after the Giants game, does OZ get benched? Does OZ had 10 snaps. He had 10 snaps last game.
OZ is a goat.
And Luther Burden had what, 30 something?
Yeah, 30 something. It's
Ben
what like
Johnson
I said.
just told us he earned it. Luther's
He earned it.
Go ahead.
He earned it.
For a tumbleweed going across the screen.
Yep. and like we said, like it's kind of like I think OZ was picked up because it's like, okay, what's the chances this a guy like a Luther Burden still gonna be there during the draft? We don't really. And I said the same in the same context of the season before that, when there was like Keenan Allen, 100 years old. What is he gonna do for Chicago? And it's like we need that depth. Like that's basic. Like we need that depth and that experience on there. Caleb needs that safety blanket, even though he had DJ in Rome and Cole Kmet, which is like, I mean, that's like 3 at the top. I wouldn't put them, like Mark's world beaters at each position against everybody else, but it's you could be a lot worse when it comes to three pass catches like that. So I think that's what OZ came in as, like okay, just in case we can't get nobody in that.
Yeah, because they didn't see themselves drafting Luther at that time.
They didn't see themselves drafting. That's why when we did it, we looked at it. Mark, we said
another wide receiver.
I don't know how to explain it. You got to explain it to me.
We looked at the Loveland pick.
The Loveland was more
a little worse.
It was expected. It was either not even expected to be Loveland, but they expected it to be Tyler Warren at the time.
Tyler Warren.
Yeah, and for me, it was when they explained it to me, I'm like, okay, it's Ben Johnson, first draft, Laporta, right? Makes sense to me. When it got to Luther Burden, it's like, all right, dude, what's going on? Like, you had like,
I'm
like,
when I seen it, I was like, okay, is this supposed to be your JMO? That's what I thought.
We were waiting on the left tackle, get us an edge rusher, a running back.
Travion Henderson, okay, we're gonna get one of the Ohio State guys. Okay, you want your sonic boom? Okay, I see where we're going with it. It's like you don't really need because to me it's like I know they ain't the same thing, but you got DJ and Rome already, so you got your 2 top wide receivers. You really don't need a Tesla or whatever his name is that played for the Lions. I don't know if he was that one. Ben was that, but you know what I mean? Like, or you go get your left tackle, you know what I'm saying? Or get your running back. I could understand that kind of thing. But it's like now you're just being greedy. Now and then everybody I saw the highlights of everything. I'm like, I mean, he looked good. Maybe it's the replacement, and I think I even said I'm like, maybe it's that what's the other guy that who had number 12 that couldn't return the ball. Bayless. Maybe he's trying to make up for the Bayless thing.
Punt?
The
drop kickoff?
Them ain't even dropped.
He muffed everything.
Not even a muff. Muffy got to hit your hands, don't it? Ain't that?
Remember he dropped Tyson Bagent touchdown. Remember he hit him. He fell and it just hit him in the stomach.
Just hit him in it's right there. And you just hug. You seen DJ put the up between his knees and ankles and toes, and still got like, come on, like. But that's what I'm saying. But like I said, I mean, at this point, we got what we got. Ozzy, I don't think benching Ozzy for Luther is I think Luther diversifies it, the offense more, because he's that over the top down the field receiver, and then Lovin is the over the top, over the linebackers in front of the safeties, kind of tight end, and you got the tight end short as Komet, and then your DJ, and then your all-purpose Rome and all that. I guess that's the theory behind it.
What if I told y'all this, and Wes, what you think? He talk about God. No, like What if I told y'all this? I'm not saying this is like my thought, like I agree with it 100%, but it's a thought for me. I mean, it ain't far fetched in my opinion. Luther got the best hands on the team.
I would probably lean Colston over Luther.
Colston,
like he's going to go get those.
Take your time, Wes.
Even if it's not right on him.
Wes, you are fucking funny, dude. No, keep going, Marcus. Keep going. I want to hear. I want to hear your thought
That's what
process
I was
with
gonna
Colston.
say, but the way Wes reacting right now, I don't know. I feel like.
I mean, because I know the answer. It's a good question. It really is a good question.
It's just a thought. You know what I mean?
It's a great thought. It's a great thought. And statistically, you got some things to prove, but for me,
was Mixed It the one who asked us who's the best? Somebody asked us who the best route runner, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember.
Was that you? Or somebody asked us that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was me or somebody in the chat.
DJ and Rome.
Yeah, between.
No, I think you asked that to me.
Did I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you asked me who the best route runner on the team was, and at the time, I want to say I leaned DJ.
You did lean DJ. You did.
Yeah.
But hands.
Yeah, as far as hands go. Yeah.
Just a thought. Like it's just a thought. Like, you know what I mean? You say Colston, which I wasn't thinking. I was just only thinking, but Colston got some gloves. He got some gloves on. He got some mitts.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm looking at it like objectively, like it would honestly, I can lean more to what Marcus Mixon said and picking either one of the tight ends. If you're looking at it statistically and how it is, like they got the best catch percentages versus their targets. But I'm not looking at it subjectively. I'm just looking at it for what it is, man. It's
right.
Roma Dunze. That's what I'm gonna always say. just go to say. I must say, and for me, it's. I mean, I test. For me, it's a lot of times it's like dire. Like I can see him fuck up twice, and I'm just like, throw it. He open, and then it's like, boom, there we go. Why the fuck? And I see when they like, and everybody called the connection out and the chemistry out, and I'm like, why y'all just can't do this all the time? Why can't it just be automatic? But I feel like it should just be like, it should be fucking Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. It should be Kurt Warner and Torrey Holt. It should be Tom and any one of his slot wide receivers because Edelman, Jules, whatever. Like, I mean, you can go down to Warner and fucking Larry Fitzgerald too, but like fucking, I can name a bunch of quarterback receiver combos. Even what's the one that don't curse in San Diego? Well, it's not San Diego more. With all the dang on kids. Phillip Rivers and like Antonio Gates. Like it's like every time the ball went to 85 out of his hands, it was just like
Rodgers and Adams. I mean
Rodgers and Adams. Fine. I think that too. Like it's like I'm anticipating the future so much, but then I still got to understand like a lot of people we talk about on the team is just pretty fucking young and still got some chances to make. Like I said, the more we see Luther Burden, I mean, I hope he keep the same numbers up because I heard he got with targeted, he's got like a 135 QBR or something like that when targeted. Got the best catch rate and got the least. I mean, if he qualified for any of these stats, basically, because
I think prior to this last game, he was 16 for 18 on receptions.
Who is this? Luther?
Yeah, Luther.
Oh yeah. I mean, he dropped one. He dropped one last game. Remember, like
the one that
they tried to. Yeah. Yep. I think Caleb threw an out route to him too. He didn't. The defender got in there too, and it popped up. But look, you got some DJ Moore in the chat. You got some Loveland in the chat. You got some Doomsday versus Burden. That's just a thought. Just wanted because honestly, these weapons is starting to like we starting to enjoy some of the fruits of our wheeling and dealing what we've been doing over the past few years with the draft picks on the offensive side, the weapons, the skill positions, draft picks, and some of the trades that we've been making or whatever. Okay, I don't best hands for real. not gonna lie, I would probably like go Loveland. Caleb threw him a missile, and he almost that ball almost
he's
took him with him.
clamping them
Like
like
he's catching
those
with his
balls,
hands
like,
too. That's another
yeah.
thing. DJ was like, for me, I was disappointed in DJ because you're not just dropping the ball, you letting the ball hit your chest plate. You can't do that.
And I
Catch the
think
ball
that's
with
the
your
only
hands.
why I took DJ out of the running, and Bear Truth said it. DJ is the only one on the team that's proven that is true. Because I've been watching DJ since he was in Carolina. So yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. But Caleb Williams, especially early in these games, he is throwing missiles. Like
yeah, that boy
he is putting like the way that if y'all watching these games live, like the camera can't keep up with what he's doing. By the time they get to the catch, it looked like he threw a pick because they trying to find the ball. Like,
dude, that one he threw to Rome when Rome fell.
I thought it was
and
going
got
back
up
the other
and
way.
kept going for another 12. I'm like, I thought the corner hit that. Boy, I know he knocked the wind out of not DJ, but Rome when he caught that ball. Remember the whole pile pushed him 12 yards after he got back up? I was shocked.
Of course,
that was
and
it's
true
saved on my computer.
About the Burden catching with it. I think
it's saved on my computer.
And I think that's the craziest part. I think is like between like Luther and Colston Loveland, they are both rookies. But like they doing some of the best when it comes to catching the ball with their hands and not their body, not their chest plate, none of that. Like
it's a young team, man.
Catching the fire that he's throwing. He's throwing missiles, and they going and getting them, and they making the most out of the opportunities that he's presenting them with. So shout out to them for that. But that's like this is a good problem for us to have. And
absolutely.
A lot of good problems.
Same problem with DA on the opposite side. It looked like he about to have a reverse Ben Johnson problem as far as you got a good amount of players in the set. Like you got Kyler coming back, you got JJ coming back. CJ's been playing good. Tyreek and Deshaun has been playing comparable. Like, do y'all foresee anybody on this team starting to be unhappy campers as far as feeling like they can contribute more than the opportunities that they're being presented with?
I know for a fact if one of these dudes, like if one of them, if Jalen Johnson or Tyreek somehow get moved to the bench or Kyler Gordon get moved to the bench, absolutely. One of those three for sure. Nobody else, though. I don't think so.
To take it,
that is my thought.
I feel like if Nashawn Wright continues having the season that he's having, especially being in close proximity with Tyreek Stevenson, I feel like some people gonna come calling trying to figure out whether or not if he's available.
Is he available?
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna come into play come this off season.
For me, it's only one way to just nip that in the bud. Keep winning games. Keep winning games. You keep winning. You keep winning. It ain't gonna matter. I mean, you see a lot of these guys kind of I don't know.
You feel like that's personal production as far as what's making players happy?
I mean, they're not wide receivers like AJ
right.
Brown. They winning and he's still pissed, Yeah,
and I think it's more of because with this Bear team now, I don't think it's gonna be an issue in the sense of y'all not national names yet, really. To be honest with you, like a lot of them, it's not really national names. Like we got I think remember we did the Bears. I mean, not the Bears, the Giants. Copod, and we was trying to figure out who they nickel was, and they were trying to figure out how our nickel was. We found out like them, those are two fucking good ass nickels in the league, and we didn't know theirs, and they didn't know ours. So until you start getting that kind of high profile, like, you want to call it, what is it, Ramsey Islands and all of that kind of, all that kind of stuff. When you get into all that kind of territory, then we can kind of worry about it. Like with AJ Brown, it's like, I fucking knew who AJ Brown was. AJ Brown was like, top 5 in the league. People would, if he hit the wire and people was calling, they said, "Are we ready to move him?" They'll get 31 fucking phone calls.
Right.
Easy. With our team, I think it's kind of like we in that position as an organization where that one thing we arguing about not getting the credit that we think we're due in this stage that we are going up, it's kind of at our advantage too. Because if you're questioning organization, you kind of question the players in themselves too. Like
the roster,
right? Are you really that good? Can you really help us benefit? Because if you could, your team should be way better than they are. So I think it's going to take some time for that to get there. And by the time, if we're going in the right direction that we are going now, we're going to be at that point where they like, do I want to go to, I don't know, Seattle with, Sam Darnold kind of maybe declining or wherever, you know what I mean? Unless they go into like, I hate to say these names, but the Patriots, Denver, or the Commanders, it's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to go to no other team because they're probably older teams and probably will be on a decline. And then I'm getting paid $160 million, but I'm losing every Sunday, and it's just like I got to stand in this locker room and explain why we're losing. But when you got like these young Caleb's and Bo Nixes and all these kind of ascending new generation quarterbacks who look like they're going to be the face of the league or battling for the face of the league, it's kind of like I kind of want to be a part of that. And I think that's the culture that's in there. Like we want to be a part of this new Ben regime and this kind of stuff and kind of grow with this instead of get slung somewhere else, especially on this defense. It's like how many really, really good defensive coordinators that are not the head coach on top of that you kind of going to go to. You're going to go to Dallas and be Eberflus again, or you want to go, some of these other places where it's kind of like they might not run the same scheme because you might go there and be talented enough, but it's like they're not putting you in that spot to even get those stats that you was looking for to get paid for. Now people question why we paying you, $100+ million over this course of this time, and this guy over here is doing way better, or this rookie who just came in, like what's his name, Christian Hernandez for the Patriots, is like probably one of the best cornerbacks right now in the league, and it's like we could just draft somebody instead of paying $100 million for you.
Right. And that's kind of what I was first of all, Lola.
Yeah, she
jumped in. She pulled up.
Oh,
Appreciate you as always. We've been looking for you, wondering where you've been at. But look, Tyson Bagent took the $10 million to stay here. He probably could have got more money somewhere else next offseason, in this offseason. You know what I mean? So this will become a destination that free agents want to come and be a part of because of Ben Johnson. He changing the culture and what's going on here. Chris Maddock, you missed a lot of good conversation, man. But appreciate you jumping in, man. Hit that like button. This conversation still rolling. We got one more to talk about with this. Who going to the bench? This one might be a little quicker, but we just heard Ben Johnson talk about when Kyler come back, CJ got to be on the field. We need to put him on the field. He has been a major for sure. Bear Truth always, man, always. He said I'm working OT. Get that bread, man.
Yeah.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, Wes, we talked about him. What about them Chiefs?
What about him?
I'm about to say I don't know, but they struggling right now, actually. But CJ, we talked about it. CJ had to come in and he had to do exactly what was asked of him. The skill was there, and we needed to see it on the field. I've been hearing a lot. He fit in with this group like they've been playing together for years. And look, it's another one. You bring Kyler back, where you moving CJ? Now, I've been hearing a lot of, because CJ is versatile. He's versatile. And I think, Bear Truth, you mentioned it earlier. I think this is a better problem to have than now the Tyreek and Nashawn one, not a bad problem. You got two good corners or whatever. But this one, Dennis Allen can get real exotic. Like you can fuck it. Take another linebacker off the field. Play three safeties now. You know what I mean? You could do a lot of, because TJ can't cover. TJ can't cover. He's not. That's not what he does. I know y'all seen him get burnt a lot, but You could do a lot more exotic stuff. Take a linebacker off the field, add another safety, rock with bring Brisker down in the box, push CJ back, depending on how you bluffing it, disguising it, and you can make it work like that. But for this conversation right here, Kyler, get back. Is CJ going to the bench? This is these numbers in 3 games, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble already in 3 games with us. Kyler, how many has he played? 1, 2 games? I
2.
believe 2 games.
2. He played the Saints game.
Oh, it's right there. I'm tripping. What was those? Was Saints game and
we had before the Saints.
Then he started the season though, didn't he? Because the only one that did start was JJ, right?
Right before the season started, he got, I don't know if he got placed on IR, but
he popped up on the injury report.
Oh yeah, that was the last minute fucking bullshit. Yeah, I remember. It ruined my day.
Who was week 6 that we played?
Week 6
was that after?
That's Commanders.
Was it the Commanders game?
He played the Commanders game and the Saints game, and that was it.
I liked him in his second game back. The first game back, I thought he was a little bit rusty. But yeah, I think Washington they called that helmet to helmet on him when he popped dude, and it wasn't even helmet to helmet. But I think he got snagged on. Did get snagged on by one of them weak ass receivers in Washington. Remember, I remember. I believe Caleb was Rome, and they called ours back. Right, that was the same type of deal. I look, this is another tough one. I'm going to start Kyler, but I mean, you heard Ben. They want CJ on the field. He must be doing something that I'm not even seeing that they really do like from him. Maybe that's rallying the troops. Maybe he a spark plug, so to speak. But what y'all think about this matchup, CJ and Kyler, when Kyler get back?
Would you like to go first, Marks and Mystic? Because this is
because I'm gonna go Kyler, but I didn't expect this much of a spark plug from CJ when he came here. I didn't expect.
No, that's facts.
First of all, I'm gonna do this backwards. I'm gonna build up to it. So y'all actually don't know. CJ GJ, I mean, he's so good. We already know his acronyms by heart. It's like, people can't even say SGA and people get that wrong. And we got CJ GJ down packed after what you said again, Mark, 3 games, 2 games. I think after the first game, every Bears fan sat there and recited, okay, CJ, then a GJ. All right, CJ, then a GJ. Because I want to be right when I say it. I'm starting Kyler Gordon easily, simply because I'm gonna have CJ GJ come in on some crazy exotic, you think you're getting comfortable, and like I said, he got that experience, and I think I said it before he first played, and when I was talking about I think he got more playoff games played than this team got in the last how many years? I think he got 17 total career. 15 something total career playoff games, and the Bears have
by far more than anybody. I'm
talking about the franchise. When the last time? When 15? I think that goes back to easily 2018.
Yeah, for 17,
15, 17 or something. I thought, and it's like
that should go back to the 80s.
to the 80s.
Yeah,
probably close to
playoff games.
That's a lot of fucking playoff games. And like I said before, I mean, he played 90% for the Eagles last season in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's on net. They rested him last year in Week 18 to play in the playoffs. That's how big of an impact he plays. So when I say this, I don't want this to be not one single bit of shade to this man at all. But Kyler is playing to set kind of the tone, and it's how they talk about the running back Sonic and Knuckles. Well, I don't know what we're gonna call these two motherfuckers. We call them the Badger and the Honey Badger. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're gonna terrorize in such a combination way, and it's gonna be like you're rotating out 2 of the best defensive ends, and you just keep getting that pressure off the edge constantly and nonstop. Because I think that's what they're gonna do. And the beautiful thing about CJ Gardner Johnson is that you could put him in plays where you're you kind of want to kind of like a choice kind of thing for him. Like they may not run, or this may not be a line of scrimmage, but we need you to get back in coverage. Because even if you watch some of the plays that he's played so far in the last 2 games, he done turned around and tracked the ball that went past him because he was supposed to be like blitzing or stopping a play action or something like that. And turned around and still was there, second to the guy that was guarding the wide receiver or the tight end, and still, assisted on those sides. I don't think we put assisted tackles, or those just total tackles. Oh, he got 14, so 5 assists, 14 solos. And that's in 3 games, 14 solo tackles in 3 games, along with the 3 sacks and the 4th fumble. I mean, that means you active. You out there active. You active on every play at any play. So I'm saying start Kyler Gordon, and this is not nostalgia, not because we drafted or nothing. It's just more of, I feel like he sets the tone in kind of like that base defense that Dennis Allen want to kind of go, and CJ is kind of like fucking nitro in the engine, or like that adrenaline boost you put in when you want to go from 0 to 100 real quick. And like you said, if you want to bring TJ out and just play him as a linebacker, or bring Brisker down in the linebacker kind of capacity and play CJ back, I don't know. It's like it's a good problem to have, man. It's a good problem to have.
Let me shout out real quick, Grimy Clan Shooter. I know you came in with the Chiefs statement, but look, we do appreciate you being in the chat, man. Hit that like button. Haven't seen you in here, but hey, let's talk some football, man. And subscribe as well. Hit the subscribe button and let's go. Let's keep this conversation rolling. Before you go, Marcus Mixon, I do want to point this out because this is something different than any of us has said. You saw this one. Chris Maddox said Jalen Johnson, cornerback 1, Kyler Gordon, cornerback 2, nickel CJ GJ. He moved Nahshon and Stevenson to the bench. So that's one way to look at it. That was different from anything we had, but if you want to give your comments, your thoughts on that, or Kyler and
First of all,
CJ.
shout out to Chris Maddox, because I kind of said this a little bit last week, and y'all wasn't feeling my take a little bit when I said when Kyler comes back, I might be interested in seeing him go to the outside so CJ can stay on the field. But at the same time, as I started going over these stats, I had to really remind myself how good CJ played when he played in the safety spot.
Yeah.
So look at these 2024 stats when he played for the Eagles. He wasn't playing nickel. He was playing in the safety spot.
Yep.
And that's why you see some of the stats that you see different. Like, for example, he didn't have any sacks, but he had 6 picks. So I think that by itself, especially considering the fact that he's been on teams that's played and won at a high level, it shows that he can play kind of sticky when he's out there. And we looking at Kevin Byard lead the league right now in picks. So not only can we look at this as an opportunity for us to get exotic in a nickel spot, but potentially have 2 ball hawks at a safety spot, not even including what Jaquan brings to the table, and he wants to come down and be able to attack the quarterback more.
Right.
So that kind of just goes back a little bit to what I was saying earlier, that Dennis Allen is kind of running into this Ben Johnson issue where he's starting to have a plethora of options, and he's starting to see an opportunity for it to come in full effect. So I'm interested in kind of seeing, we was talking about before, I want to see them both be on the field at the same time. But at the same time, it's a lot of combination of players that I want to see on the field.
It's with this whole group of like DBs. This is just look, Wes. We said it. This is the strongest room, and it just got stronger by we got lucky, I guess. Is it luck?
By a fucking mile.
Yeah.
By a fucking mile. We got experience, Zy Frazier, and we got experience, Terrell Smith.
We talking exactly, and that's what I was going to say. That aren't on an active roster. So we talking about, like, when it comes cut day next year, we're gonna be having a real conversation, trying to figure out whether or not if we made the right moves on who's gonna be on an active roster or not. Because the way some of these people are playing, if they was on a practice squad, we guaranteed that they poached. Like,
but see, that's the thing. I think they're gonna learn. Not, I want to say mistake because they just got a lot of people just got hurt because of how thin we were stretched at cornerback at one point. Like at one point, remember, like you put it in the notes for this one. Tyreek missed week 8. We was down to Nashawn, who was supposed to be CB3, and whoever CB4 was, and then because that was before CJ was here.
McLeod.
I think they gonna learn, and all of these dudes they gonna make sure they can keep them all if they can help it. Now, you know what I mean. You got to be able to help it. I don't know how much money like CJ I asked for after this year because you got to think he riding for the rest of the season. You know what I mean. And then you got Terrell Smith coming back. Frazier gonna be here. He on a rookie deal, so he'll be here for sure. But I mean, you got to think they're gonna make sure they don't ever have to be in a position where you got to start pulling in random dudes from off the street, or you down to Nick McLeod and is it Jalon Jones and
Jalen Jones.
And Blackwell was back there at one point. So, who you benching? Who you? Oh, go ahead, Wes. My bad.
Oh no, I was just going deep down the tour, and I was thinking back on it. I'm like, man, I'm sorry, Jalen Jones, and maybe Jonathan Owens. I think y'all gonna have to just start talking to y'all agent right now.
Yeah, and they need to re-sign Byard right now. They need to re-sign him right now. We had him for a 2-year deal. I think this is the last year on his contract. They need to give him his money right now. But
you know what's crazy? A side note, I gotta say,
go ahead.
Marcus, I just saw and I was watching. I think that was Monday Night Football. You know, Reddy Stewart played for the Cowboys.
Yep. I think I found that out when we played them.
I missed that.
They didn't have DeRon Bland that game, I believe. So I think he jumped in there. But yeah, Reddy was our boy, wasn't he?
Man, we love some Reddy Stewart, man.
Who you going with, Mixed? Who you going with? Who you moving? You sticking with Kyler, or you riding with CJ?
I feel like I kind of did my
right back, fellas.
I feel like I kind of did myself a little bit of a disservice because I think it was Chris Maddock that put it in the chat. I gotta be a part of the camp that gotta see these two people on the field at the same time. And I don't want to just be like, yeah, bump Brisker or whatever, but Jaquan has kind of been up and down and stuff too. So it's just like, man, I really feel like as far as the defense goes, secondary wise, we got a lot of people ready to eat. And we got a lot of dogs that want to come off the leash. So it's just like, I don't know. I really don't like
I was just gonna say, who has done the least amount of work so far?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because it kind of feels like
that Commander's interception. I think that's it. Remember last season he missed it with the constant with the concussions. Was just out, couldn't come back.
Thing is, like, he's already gonna be an injury concern, and you in a year where you basically plan for what's gonna potentially be your contract, and you having the least productive season out of the team with the most takeaways. So it's like, and it's crazy because we all know Jaquan is a hard hitter and we love what he brings to the team and stuff like that. But it's like, man, like, we've also, like, Jaquan is not exempt from the list of people that's giving up plays this year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't want to just make it seem like, you know, he's exempt from the conversation. But at the same time, I feel like if we looking at a team that has Jalen Johnson, Kevin Byard, Kyler Gordon, CJ, GJ, and Tyreek Stevenson / Nashawn Wright all on the field at the same time, that's a lot of tools to work with. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we can. I feel like at that point we can definitely start. Kind of. I want to make sure I'm using the right word, but reestablishing because a lot of people been saying like the weak point of our team this year is what our defense give up a lot of points, we give up a lot of yards, et cetera, but we always fight a way to come back and win. Right. Kyler sniffs out the ball, especially at the line of scrimmage. Like he helps with that run game.
He's aggressive in the box for sure.
Like TJ helps with that run game. Tremaine, he had 100 tackles last year. I think that was his most in the season or whatever. Like they get inactive. So at this point, I don't even know really who I want to start over who. I just want to see a healthy defense and see this Allen have a plethora of options to see what he's really gonna do.
Brisker is in a contract year, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's interesting.
We was just saying that he was like, as far as the players in the secondary that's been making plays, he's been the least productive out of everybody.
I mean, you know how I feel about Brisker. I think he just be doing shit sometimes. I like him, good player. I do think if they resign him, he's not getting a big deal. He'll get like a 1 year, prove it, something like that, maybe 2 years, kind of like Byard did or something like that, but nothing major like Kyler, who was drafted right before him, not right before him, but before him in the second round. So okay. Good problem to have. When we see it, as soon as we spot CJ and Kyler on the field at the same time, we gonna talk about it. We're definitely gonna document it and talk, especially if they move. Look, we gonna be on the lookout for all that exotic shit that he can Dennis Allen can deploy. He said 1 year prove it. Something like that for Jaquan, just because we got to see some more out of you, brother.
He's already basically on the 1 year prove it. Like that's the problem that he's in now, but at this point it's for medical reasons because he's got. So it's like, okay, you prove that you can be healthy for the most part. I don't think up until this week he sat at all, but you also aren't being as productive as what we used to seeing you be. So are we back on another 1 year prove it? Like you prove that you can be healthy. Can you prove that you can be productive or what?
I mean, it seemed like he had his best with Kyler. I don't know why. It just seems like they just have this Siamese twin thing going on. Because every great game I've seen him play has been him and Kyler Gordon on the field, and they both was just. To say the word amazing to me is just kind of. I don't want to say it that high, but I mean I don't want to say good either or just great. They complement each other so well on the field,
right? On the field.
That it's ridiculous. And because even if you think about it, when Brisker went out last year, Kyler kind of dipped down too. He kind of, but he was still, like I said, he was still there. He was still competent enough to be like, all right, cool. If Brisker is so injured that he's probably not coming back, Byard was kind of, a little older in the sense of that, and with to Tyreek things and Jalen with his tweaks here and tweaks there, it's like, what can we save out this secondary so we don't have to do a full rebuild? We know we still gonna have hopes for JJ. If we could put Kyler in there on a decent deal now, it'll make everything else a little bit different when it comes to managing trying to retool this secondary. But man,
don't Frazier play safety too though?
He played both. He played corner and safety.
I'm sure he could. Mm-hmm.
You think they would, and instead of extending Jaquan, go into Zay?
No, I think they gonna develop him at his spot.
Yeah, develop him at a spot. Keep him. I mean, like I said, he's a rookie, so you can give it a little time to see how everybody else play out. Because like you said, he can't play corner and he can't play safety, but it's kind of like, and that's what Dennis Allen said anyway. Every defensive back is going to be, practicing safety reps and cornerback reps and slot reps and everything, because you're going to have to, because you never know what I might tell you to go out there and do. And even if it's just for one play, I want you to be competent enough to run that, excuse me, that one play and whatnot. So, and then just seeing what happens. Like if Brisker does not, let's say we extend him next year, Zach
Mhm.
comes back, he can practice, he can get into some games, get some reps in there, and Brisker just don't pan out. It'd be a lot easier to let Zach Frazier kind of learn behind them and then put him in, you know, maybe if you put him halfway through the season or whatever, just kind of plug him in, kind of how like we sit here talking now. Now we're talking about this Brisker. Next year we're talking this Brisker been good enough halfway through the season again. Was it time for us to see Zach Frazier or having that question? So like I said, I don't want to rush nobody along when I don't think everybody else is kind of really done just yet. So it's kind of like got a lot. I mean, and it's the defense, man. Like you can. If they want to stay and play, if they want to get into some rotation, you could keep them fresh too. On top of that, like
the good thing about this is Dennis. It's we're late. We're like late in the season, 7 games left. Dennis Allen has the options now to deploy some shit that's not on film, that no offensive coordinator has seen yet. And you might come up against Jordan Love and the Packers, and now you deploying shit that they have not seen us run. Like we could probably start using some of Brian Flores shit that he was doing against us now, because we got pieces now. We got players that can play multiple positions, can become linebackers, or
you go
bring
out there
in 3
with
safeties, dime package.
with Tremaine and just defensive backs and be like,
yeah, exactly. That shit is
Tremaine
crazy.
is just all the defensive backs just standing back there, and it's like, well, we know what Tremaine gonna do, but what is the fuck they?
You don't know who come in and who drop him in coverage.
You got 3 safeties and 3 cornerbacks. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me ask y'all this. This kind of off topic, and then I want to talk about the Steelers game a little bit, and then wrap this up. This one off top. Do y'all trust Cairo Santos?
Oh.
Y'all both had the same reaction. Do we trust Cairo for real?
I don't.
Let me look at his numbers real quick. Keep going. Because if I'm gonna answer my own question,
trust,
I'm gonna say no. I do not. He makes me nervous every single time he go and kick the ball. I'm not confident. I know how it feels to be confident in the kicker. We all should. Robbie Gold, we were confident. This dude
I
scares
trust
me,
him,
dude.
and I'm confident. It just at a certain point, it's like 49 is my cutoff. 49 is like, and I know that's kind of hard because I mean, like I said, we talked about it. Like we need big legs. Yeah, that's right, Nacho. Like super reliable on like the shorter kicks and all that kind of stuff. And I know he can nail those once he kind of gets back in his little groove. It's the ones that I feel like he just look. The best way I can put this, I feel like I can throw the ball in the paint to Shaq, and it's gonna be a basket more often than not, or gonna be a foul, or it's gonna be something positive for my team. But I'm not having him come pull up from 40 just because he hit one time. Like I don't feel confident and trust that kind of approach to it. But if we kick a field, short field goals, some extra points like that, I feel like he's fine. I don't like I don't like that Cairo Santos style kick. How about that? But I trust him at certain distances and confident at certain distances, and I know when I'm just gonna be like, okay. This might not go our way.
His longest of the season is 54, which we saw last week. From 50, he's 3 for 4. And overall, he's 16 for 20 on the season. So some numbers. Under 50, he's what? 4 for 6, 7, 4 for 7.
And one of those is a block, right?
Yeah, one of these. There's some blocks in here somewhere. I just can't see if there were blocks or not.
I think 2 of the blocks came under like 50 yards though. Because I remember one, it looked like he just shot it straight into dude's hand.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I think the other one, the guy kind of moved through and blocked it. So, I got faith in him at certain distances. It's all right. I just don't like that he's on our team because I feel like he can't. I'm saying playoffs. If we just, we need a 61 yarder, it's like, well, you might as well throw a Hail Mary. You know what I mean? But it's other kickers out there, and it's I think one of the Super Bowl kicks that and it's a Patriots one in the snow, and I think it was Vinatieri. It was like 63 yards in the Super Bowl in the snow or something like that, and it was just like. I remember commentators saying it's good. Like, as soon as it kind of got its arch, and it was like dead center in the snow. Like,
I wasn't nervous about Robbie Gold at all.
Oh, not at all either. That's what I'm saying.
Robbie-
Like Robbie Gold, I'm not, but I mean,
I guess he's 3 for 5 from 50. I guess that's what it says here. But look,
I mean,
I just want to know what y'all thought. Like, he makes me nervous. I get nervous.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. But before I go, who hired Cairo? Was it Matt Eberflus?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But I was gonna agree with you, Mark, and say that I don't trust Cairo.
Wait, it might have been Nagy. He might have been here with Nagy.
Okay.
Cairo might have been here with Nagy.
If he
keep going though, yeah, keep going.
If he was pre Eberflus, then okay. But if Eberflus hired him, I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised because it kind of feels synonymous to what Eberflus's personality is when it comes to being the head coach. But what I like, just as far as Cairo goes, because you said he's only missed four field goals.
He was here with Nagy for sure. But you go ahead.
I will say it feels like he missed more than 4 just when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
He missed 4 in some big spots. Like the one that he missed last game. It was
45.
deflating. It was very deflating because of that. Because it's in his range. Like the reason why I would say I trust Cairo is because he's a vet. He's somebody that he knows what he needs.
He's accurate in his career for sure. He's
Exactly.
accurate. He's one of the more accurate kickers.
If you can get him to his spot, he's probably gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs a lot for you to get him to his spot. And that's what's a little bit problematic for me, especially when you consider this whole thing with the K balls and stuff over the summer, stuff like that. Like we watching kickers kick longer field goals because they have these balls that they break in pregame and stuff like that and stuff versus kicking a brand new ball out of the bag. You know what I'm saying? So they like we seeing people kick 60 plus yard field goals and stuff. And I'm not saying that makes Cairo a bad kicker.
Right.
But I'm saying like when we gotta get it below the 35 for you to kick it. And the opposing team, they just gotta scratch the 40 and they'll attempt it. That makes a world of a difference for me.
It's like just do it. Like we get you again. You don't got the long leg, right? So if we get that bitch to the 45 or the 43 or 4, nail it. And you're missing those. Like the one he missed was 45 last week.
Yards.
What was the game winner?
Range, and he was just wide right. And even if you look at the game winning field goal, he was almost wide right.
Yeah.
What was that one?
From this past game.
Yeah, how long was that? The game winner one.
I don't even know how long it was. I just remember watching the kick on the replay, and it was probably 2 yards from the stick.
It straightened up. Yeah, it straightened up a little bit, but I think let me see if I can find it. But yeah, he's 27. He's 27th this year, and basically in
field goals.
Yeah, and field goal percentage. It's the 27th most accurate kicker in the NFL.
Chris Maddock just put it in the chat, and I mean his
48.
career history with the Bears, he's 88%.
See, look, 48. Like you missed the 45, but you make the 48. Like what? Like, come on, Cairo. I need you to be. Your thing is consistency and accuracy. Don't be up and down like that. Miss the 50s. Okay, if you're gonna miss the 50s, anything out of that, I need you to make those because we know your whole weakness is leg strength. You don't have a powerful leg, so don't start being sporadic. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Nacho said Cairo is also getting old, so I don't know how many years he has left. He little ass dude. That's a little ass kicker, boy. You could tell he don't got a powerful leg, but all right. I just wanted to get that in there. I know it was a little curveball than where we've been going.
I was
okay.
Got signed. I was a little bit upset. I ain't gonna lie. I seen that. I don't know what I was doing, but I
re-signed him. Gave him an extension.
Who just picked him up?
Oh, you're talking Jake Moody.
Oh, Moody is Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I seen that, I was just like, man.
The team he hit the buzzer beater on.
Yeah. That was living in their head.
see, I wasn't one of those people though who would choose Jake Moody over Cairo. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't willing to go there. But
no, I don't think I was either. I just think that, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe what happens in these next two games, I probably would have been there. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how they went. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think the Jake Moody thing was only disappointing because of the timing. Like,
I ain't Jake Moody. I do trust Cairo more than I trust Jake Moody, if that makes sense. I just didn't know, just because of his circumstance. You just got cut from San Fran, and like he just said, he's 88. He is 88% for the Bears. Cairo. It's just he got his own warts to deal with. I don't know. Jake Moody was fine. He was cool. I know he had a bigger leg than what's his name, but it's enough of the kicker talk.
That was my point. That's all my point is. That bigger leg will come in, and clutch in some, deep playoff games where you don't have to like that at the end of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to get down, it makes your green line field goal range shorter. Our special teams been giving, them the green line every single time they coming down to kick. But just to have that kind of, the closer we get, the better I feel. It's like the closer I get, it's like, do I think we need 5 more yards? Like that's how I feel when I'm watching. I'm like,
yeah.
All right, this is a 45. We got
it
35.
almost feel like you can't get enough for Cairo.
Right, can't get close enough. Right. So it's like it's 35 seconds. It's a 45 yard kick, but should I run one more play and kind of risk a fumble or getting pushed back out of field goal range, make it even worse? And it's kind of like, because I mean, you've seen it where some coaches will go, they'll get down and it's a 45-yard kick, and they'll be like, all right, we'll just kneel it out. We'll just let our kicker kick.
I'll just let them kick it.
Just let them kick it. We ain't even we don't care about nothing else. We'll take what may come and then choose to keep one. But like with Robbie Gold, think about like we won so many games on that leg that it was crazy because it's just like, hey, if they can get down to this yard line, we good, we solid. Cool.
You knew Robbie.
It's good as gold, as they said back in the day, right? So
it is demoralizing when you see a kick end up like don't even make it to the goalpost.
Yeah.
Then if they just shank it
wide left. Like
I'd rather see him shank it than be 10 yards short, because now I know something now. But
it even then he had kicks that was like line drives that end up getting blocked, and it's like
he kick it low. He's a low kicker.
Even prior to the block.
What you mean he kick it? That's what he had. He is the low. He's low.
Fuck.
He is low. Like it starts off at a low trajectory. He gotta become a punter half the time, throw his leg up in his face just to kind of get it over the line sometimes. But all
right, enough kicker talk. Let's talk about the Steelers real quick and wrap this thing up. Steelers, I do got a question for y'all. Do y'all want to play Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. Every day of the week. I don't listen.
Go ahead. Tell us why. Let me get this down.
To the core, I am the literal embodiment of this Packers Bears rivalry. Like literally, like to the core. I don't. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't care what day it is. We playing Aaron Rodgers, and I'm perfectly fine with that. For one, for two, he's not gonna play. Like I feel like if Mason Rudolph plays, they're gonna try to open it up a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, his whole game all year has been 2 steps. I'm gonna get the ball out. 2 steps. I'm gonna get the.
You're on the last second.
Holds it. He's getting hit. Like that. That's so. Like and don't get me wrong. It's not like we got a top of the line pass rush that's gonna get back there with Aaron Rodgers all day long. But if our pass rush is ranked 20 plus whatever it is, and Aaron Rodgers' game plan is to come in here and do quick passes and checkdowns all day, then I feel like that's gonna be a little bit of a problem. But because I feel like that's gonna kind of a game plan. But with Mason Rudolph, he didn't. It's not like Mason Rudolph just and didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, no, he looked probably better than Rodgers did when he was in the game.
Yeah.
So even if it say there's a 50-50 chance you beat Rodgers, but there's a 100% chance you beat Rudolph, you still want Rodgers?
I want Rodgers for them to stop.
Wow.
I want Rodgers just off of the strength. You said that you own us. You don't own us. And we need to like I want to see it.
It's probably your last chance. It's probably the Bears' last chance to play him. It ain't gonna happen again, probably. So okay, that is an interesting take. Wes, you want to play Aaron Rodgers?
Do I want to play him? I want like okay. Let me cook up my response real quick.
No smoke.
How about y'all give me both of them?
Put them both on the field at the same time.
Give me both of them.
You want to knock Rodgers out and then finish it off with Mason?
I don't want. I want to knock him out to where it's
That's
like,
what
oh my
Nacho's
god.
saying.
I want to. Yeah, I will finish and don't come back to the NFL. Don't come back.
Oh, you want to end his career?
Oh yeah, the whole hand. Like you need surgery. I want you done. Y'all ain't gonna probably make the playoffs. Y'all still gonna have a winning record because the league got an Illuminati got something going on with Mike Tomlin. Because every time I hear it every year, I'm like, no, how?
It's insane, ain't it?
Who did they beat? Who did they even play?
Crazy,
then you just go back and you look at it, you like, how they beat them and them? And it's like they ain't even. Who is their quarterback? Well, did they have like 2 backups halfway through the season? How did they still end up?
Mitchell Trubisky was there.
Right. You see what's Trubisky? You talk about y'all had Trubisky play for y'all, and y'all ended up like. Okay, whatever. I know it's some behind the scenes stuff's got to be going on over there. I don't know what. I don't know.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, some terrible towel voodoo going on in there. But honestly, no. Without seriousness, though, I don't care. And I heard your statement. 50-50 with Rodgers or 100% with Rudolph. 100%. I'm taking Rudolph. It's not that Rodgers ain't that fucking important to my team's record. He ain't that important to the number 1 spot for me. He don't ring that true to me. I mean, obviously it was you were in a way better situation than we were through that pretty much that entire time. And then when we wasn't, we dogged you when we did have a decent and good competent team.
Do you feel like beating Rodgers versus beating Mason Rudolph would be that statement win that everybody's been asking for us to have?
It's still a Steelers. It's still a 500, always 500 team. You can't say they had a losing record because they always got a 500 record if you want to call it that then. Remember, they're the Steelers. They're always 500 or above.
Yeah, I can get
every year for forever. So if we beat them, once again, it's like, well, okay, what narrative you want to get? Well, they didn't have Rodgers. Okay. I don't know what to say. But that team, no matter, even when they didn't have Rodgers, they were still a 500 team. Mark Rob, you said it. They had Trubisky starting for them before, and they still ended up a 500 the team that year. So this is a 500, always threatening the playoffs kind of team.
Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson,
Justin Fields. Like, no matter what, they still gonna be a 500 team. So they never have a losing record. They ain't had no losing record since before I had probably had kids. So
Yeah,
Mike,
I just
I'm
want
the
to
name
learn
ever.
Aaron Rodgers' swan song real sour, like real bad.
It would be a bonus. It would
Yeah,
be like,
yeah, that'd
you
be
know
that.
what I'm saying,
That'd
getting that curly fry in my fries when I come from the restaurant. I see it and I open my bag and I got straight fries and I got like 2 curly fries that just happen to be in the bunch. All right, cool. I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna
Like
stick
this
with
would
those
be
curly
the
fries.
equivalent for me to see like the Bears get a dub on the same day that I see the Packers take an L. That'd be how good it feel to me. Like I'd be like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
winning and we're winning. I love that. I love it.
It's a lot of people that think that feel that way. I'm with you, Wes. I don't give a fuck about Aaron Rodgers. I want to make the playoffs this year, and this win goes a long way to doing that. And yeah, would it be nice to beat Aaron Rodgers? But I've seen it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about him that much. Like I really don't. I'm well past the days where it's like I don't give a fuck. We was 2-16 or 2-15 as long as those 2 wins came against the Packers type shit. That's how I used to think.
Yeah.
Not no more. I'm past that. The team we got bigger and higher goals to reach to be
like I said, I'd rather be beating Green Bay than worry about saying I just want to beat Green Bay than worry about Aaron Rodgers on the Jets or the Steelers or on the Canadian Battle Hawks or whatever the fuck. It don't matter. It's because you Aaron Rodgers, dude. It's like you was like, and honestly, to me, it's like I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers ain't good. It's not like you ain't been good, like Hall of Fame career, but some of that shit to me like was highly questionable. It was some y'all couldn't find nobody else, so y'all picked the guy who was really, really good but didn't try. Like he rather almost lose a game than try to win a game to me. And it's like, you know what? I know I'm, 19 and these is 8th graders and it's 1 second on the clock. So I'm just gonna run in and dunk on them because that's what I can do. Because think about it, most of what he leads the history of NFL or something like that, or close to it, and Hail Mary wins with like 14 or something like that.
Yeah, he got
something crazy, like something like that. It's like and I always tell people all the time, I'm like, is that really a good stat to have? Because you wasn't winning a game, so you had to throw a Hail Mary and then you didn't catch it. You just threw it in the end zone, which a lot of quarterbacks do, but your receivers caught it. Like we can go with
I mean, they you know how I go. They gave Jaden Daniels, they crowned him for it. His Hail Mary.
And where the ball landed ain't where it landed for the touchdown and where you threw it. It was actually you had some help. So for me, I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. The whole he owns Chicago thing is you got a good record against Chicago. Good for you.
My only thing is if like Rodgers or Rudolph, I don't think Rudolph sucks. And quite frankly, we've lost to backup quarterbacks before. Like it's not like Rudolph ain't gonna be shit again. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my thing. Now, if I'm just gonna look at it like this, who's the better quarterback type? I ain't gonna lie, I want the weaker quarterback. I do. I was not that. There's a lot of people who wanted Lamar Jackson against the Ravens. I'm like, are y'all fucking crazy? Lamar, if Huntley did that to us, Lamar would have been way worse. So that look, okay. I just want to see where y'all heads was at with that.
But you just kind of, I'm sorry to cut you off.
You good.
You just kind of spoke on an important point. Like they're gonna play a different style of football if Mason is running the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, the way I feel is about the Steelers offense is they're gonna just try to quick pass you to death. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't work, they're punting. That's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can contain them trying to bite off 3 to 5 yards every every other play, then it's like you really have an opportunity for their offense to not really be that much of a factor. Like some of these games it's not like Aaron Rodgers is going out there throwing 300 yards and winning them games. That's not what's happening. Their defense is winning them. Their defense is keeping the score low, and they inching their way down the field so they get in scoring range. They make a good play, or they just have a breakout play like DK Metcalf breaking a tackle and getting 83 yards. Like, so when it comes down to it, part of the reason outside of me talking about the hype of the game or whatever for playing Aaron Rodgers is I feel like if Mason Rudolph plays, they're going to try to stretch the field. And I feel like that's when you start to see our secondary get tested. Yeah, they're going to try. I mean, they'll probably be opportune and get a takeaway or so. But at the same time, these are things that cause teams to still be in games when we close them out. So would I rather see a team that's going to check it down and throw drag routes and stuff all day? I would rather see that versus seeing Mason Rudolph taking deep shots to the corner or trying to go up the seam and stuff like that. So I say, I don't know.
I think you might get Rudolph once or twice. You might get him. I don't think we getting Rodgers. Yeah, I don't think Rodgers gonna throw it. He might look. He might, but I don't know. All right, so let's do this then. I'm gonna put the stats up. Look at those closely. Based off the numbers, offense and defense. We'll start with defense. From what y'all see from these numbers, give me a key to success for the defense, and we'll do one for the offense. First of all, their defense is not as good as at least numbers wise. They look like our defense, don't it? 25th.
No, that's their offense.
No, that's their offense.
That's their offense.
Oh, is that the pass? Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, okay. Wow.
You know, I was gonna say their defense is legit.
Yeah,
that's the third, the eighth.
They know how to get up
in the fifth. Yeah, that's why I was like, damn, they defense not as good as I thought. But no, okay. Wow, they offense really ain't that good. So I thought their run game was better too.
No, they worse than us in every offensive stat, but that's what people been saying too.
The offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. We've been playing a lot of games like this, man. We've been going against some good defenses. That's the thing. Regardless of what people been talking about, we've been facing some good D lines. Like we faced Max Crosby, and we just faced the Vikings. That's not a bad unit over there. The Giants, for their record, they give everybody a run for their money. And this is gonna be another test. Golly. Good thing our offense is playing well. So let's do this. Key to success for the offense, key to success for the defense, based off these numbers that we seen. I'll go first. Good. And let's start with the defense. And I mean, you could pick any one of these categories to get them at. I'm glad they're 29th in rushing, but Aaron Rodgers, like you said, and from what I've been hearing all week so far, he don't push the ball down the field. That's not what he does. He is going to take the check down. He's smart. He's going to get the ball out of his hands fast. That's one thing he got going for him. They asked Ben Johnson, remember in the presser, is Caleb like Aaron Rodgers or something like that? And he was like, not really. That dude get the ball out of his hands. Our quarterback hold the ball a little bit longer than that. And Rodgers is smart. He don't want to get hit. He old as fuck. Y'all just see 99 years old. He don't want to get hit.
He wants to stay upright.
Exactly.
Especially being at 41 years old. He ain't as mobile as what we've seen in the past. So he ain't trying to go down.
Nah. He's gonna check this ball down. So what the defense gotta do, you have to tackle very well this game. You cannot let him turn 5-yard passes into 10, into 15 yards. That can't happen. No broken tackles. That can't happen. Rally to the football. Helmets to the football, I should say. Short tackling. That's my key to success for the defense, because they don't look scary. I'm not seeing like stop the run this week, which I mean we got to do that every week because we're not that great at it. Well, we've been better, but they're 29th in rushing. So I'm not that scared of it. You know what I mean? We have to tackle, because if you don't tackle, Jaylen Warren will make you miss and get 10 to 15 yards after that broken tackle. Rally to the football. That's what I'm gonna go with for the defensive side of the ball. Short tackling, rally to the football. Who want to go with a defensive one?
Yeah, I would kind of say the same thing. I was gonna kind of before you kind of took it out of my point, which was we got to be better as far as tackling, not missing tackles, just being good and tackling in the open field, because the one thing that keeps teams hanging around, that's lingering outside of our offense not being able to score in red zone positions, is us allowing them to extend plays, us not knowing how to get off the field. So I feel like we got to turn some of these cheap drives into 3 and outs. We got to turn them into quick punts. We have to force them to do what they don't want to do, which is hold the ball longer and pass down the field. Because once you start seeing that, you're going to start seeing DA start having all types of success in the defense that he wants to use in terms of getting different looks and different people in the backfield and stuff like that, because they're going to challenge him in that way. But how successful it is really going to be based on how good our secondary can do in terms of getting receivers off their spot, not having them readily available for a 5-yard check down or a drag route across the middle and stuff like that. Like, get sticky and attach to these people at the hip so they have to do more work to get the ball in their hands.
Yep.
Because the moment that you do that, we start seeing Montez have a good week every week for 4 weeks in a row and stuff like that. Dominique Robinson coming off the bench, getting a sack, stuff like that. Austin Booker continuing to flash. So I feel like that's the big thing, is get some good tackles in the open field and get them on some long drives and force them to have to play the long game, because that's not something that they've been able to do consistently throughout the season.
I'm shocked that they're 15th in points with those numbers. It got to be the defense. That defense got to be setting them up for a good field position, because that
they first and forced fumbles.
Damn, they got 12. Well, we know what we got to do on offense. Go ahead, Wes. What you thinking what you thinking for the defense?
I'm gonna kind of do a kind of it's a combo thing, but it's same action at the same time. So I feel like whether it's Rudolph or whether it's Rodgers, I'm talking about closing the pocket, containing and muddying those passing lanes. So if you're not getting to the quarterback, put those arms up, put those hands up, like you were saying, Marcus Mixon. They want a short shot. If you get in there and you think they're going to get big, we talked about the traits that DA liking a lot of these edges being tall and long and arms out and all that. So if you're going to push and you ain't getting there and you feel you can bull rush count 1, 2, 3 and then just get big, get up. Because if he has to kind of sidearm it, kind of overthrow your arm, get it around your arm, that makes those short, quick passes and completions. That makes those short, quick passes almost hit the ground, right?
That's a good point.
And you have to track it down, secure it first, and that gives, like you were saying, Mark, and y'all were saying about securing tackling. Now we're shooting at the ball, and this offensive player just getting the ball secured, and then that's how you can make those big plays and in that area to kind of isolate that that quick pass that Aaron Rodgers want to do. And on top of that, given what Aaron Rodgers is going through with the whole, like you said, he want to stay upright, he don't want to hit. That pocket start closing, he not finna stick that opposite hand out to try to push off somebody to get the move. He gonna have to try to throw it away or try to make
get rid of that ball.
Yeah, he gonna have to, which is gonna be, and if you got him trapped in the pocket, Aaron Rodgers, like I said, Aaron Rodgers selfish as fuck. I'll do it. He'll throw probably 10 intentional grounding passes a game because he think he can save it with one pass later. That's his ego to me. And I think if we could just keep that pocket closed, like you said with Booker and all that. Booker with that one arm punch stretch, I don't know what he does when he just stick his arm and just push that dude with that one arm kind of thing that he's been doing the last like 2 or 3 games and just knocking dudes back with one arm. Do that. And then if you don't get to the quarterback, just jump up with the other arm and Max Crosby that shit.
That's a good. I like that point because, like our pass rush ain't good as it is. I don't think they're getting to the quarterback.
Right,
they're not gonna get there. So, like, you're not gonna get there. Put your fucking hands up.
Let's
get some batted balls. Let's some
be disruptive. Do something.
Exactly.
Put
So
put the
I like
offensive lineman in their lap and just make the throw difficult. I think that should suffice. I mean, not suffice, but I think that's one of the biggest keys to our defense having some type of success against them.
Sheesh. I like that one. They are third in sacks. That's tough. All right, let's move to the offense then. Like I said, they're third in sacks. They get to the quarterback. They got who is it? TJ Watt and what's his name?
TJ Watt, Hayes,
Hank Smith or something like
Gordon,
that.
yeah, something like that. 56, whatever that dude name is.
Our
Cam
tackles.
Hayward.
Not Cam Hayward.
Not him, but Cam's
Oh fuck, they do got Cam Hayward too.
Yeah, they got him. But the other guy, hey, it's like Haig something, Haig Smith, Haig's Way or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But key to success for the offense. Look, you gotta protect Darnell Wright. This I think that this is gonna be the biggest game. This game is gonna be bigger for Darnell Wright and Theo Benedict than any other player on this offense. You got to protect Caleb, because if you don't, he's really gonna be like, it's gonna be one of those games against the Giants where he was really being Houdini. He's not even really gonna be looking downfield too much. Theo, but Darnell Wright has his issues too. So I think we gotta add some extra protection. Bring Durham Smythe in the game again. Get him some run. Shit, if you gotta keep both tight ends in, sometimes you double to 12 personnel, 13 personnel, however you want to do it. I do think they're gonna need help, especially Theo Benedict. I wouldn't leave Theo Benedict by himself against neither one of those dudes. They're third in sacks. Number one is Denver, which we don't play. And who I wish I knew who number 2 was, but I'm sure we don't play number 2 either. So we're playing a number 3 team in sacks. Now, Caleb has done a good job. The O-line has done a good job. You say what?
I said, I wonder if it's the Browns. I know Myles Garrett is leading the league by himself.
Is he the leader now? Is he?
He got
like 15.
He got like 15 basically halfway through the season. They said he on pace for 31 sacks.
Because I remember when we played the Giants a couple weeks ago, it was Brian Burns. So he just been wrecking shit.
He had like 6 against the Patriots or something and still lost or something crazy like that.
That's crazy.
Tackles. This got to be our best game of the season. Theo, best game of the season. I think if the tackles hold up, offense going to be humming. I really do. I don't think Jalen Ramsey don't scare me no more for real. Do they got Minka Fitzpatrick? Do they got Minka over there? I believe no, he left.
I thought Minka went.
Did they trade him?
Did they? I
don't know, but Theo and Darnell Wright to me is the keys to success for this game. They got their hands full. Before we was playing teams with one guy, Max Crosby by himself over there. I know we played the Giants who had a full 4, but they got 2 guys, and I need them tackles to hold up the fort. So that's my key to success. The left tackle, right tackle playing their best game of the season. For sure. And I didn't even know these comments was coming in.
I wasn't looking.
Thoughts on the offense, fellas?
I got my keys to success. Mine's is kind of a 2-parter. The first part of it for me is kind of the same thing you said for different reasons, though. Instead of it being the tackles in pass protection, I really want to see the tackles, especially Darnell, kind of imposing his will in the run game. Like we've been seeing him get active. We've been seeing him get people off their spot. They've been really doing a good job as far as run protection and run blocking, and just creating a gap for our runners to get through. And I feel like when it comes to people that we're gonna see on the other side of the field, such as Watt and Hayward and stuff like that, when like take the fight to them, be aggressive with them. Don't just kick step and try to combat what they bring to you, but show them what you bring into the table too. We just saw Darnell sit Brian Burns, and like we watching Kayvon Thibodeau have no effect. Like I'm not saying that they're gonna walk away from this game with no sacks against this team, but I'm saying like with what Caleb can do as far as getting himself out of trouble, and what you guys can do as far as imposing your will when it comes to this running game. Like I want to see y'all kind of do y'all best to kind of pull the rug from under these defenders, because this looks like a game where people kind of looking at it like where this pass rush is going to kind of probably have their way with the offensive line, and I want to see them negate that. So I want to see the offensive tackles get active in the run game, and really make some standout plays and kind of make this pass rush second guess what they got to do to get past Darnell on our side. The second thing is I think we need to do what we've been doing and what we do better than any other thing as an offense, which is take care of the football. I feel like better than any other thing, like we don't turn the ball over. And I feel like we need to continue that trend, make this a week where we do what we've been doing on both offense and defense, can continue the trend of taking care of the ball and getting takeaways.
You have to take care for sure this week.
This is a defense that's susceptible to giving away the ball, and we need to show them why we haven't been. Because I feel like the turnover battle, I feel like specifically in this game is what's going to be the deciding factor on whether or not, if we looking up going into the fourth quarter and the Steelers are still lingering around versus us just go ahead and having that ability to try to put away a team. And when you got a team that's ranked third in sacks, first in forced fumbles, fifth in tackles, they never really gonna be put away, because at any given moment in the game, they can get you in a 3-and-out situation and give their offense the ball right back. And we know that they're gonna try to keep Caleb on the sideline. So we gotta do what we gotta do.
You can't let this team hang around. You absolutely can't let them stick around in the fourth quarter. And to your point about the O-line, though, O-linemen don't like the pass block. They want to run block. They love to run block. When you pass block, and you all you can do is stand up and take hits from a D lineman coming at you and laying the hit on you. When they run block, they get to actually move, put that weight on somebody and move dudes. Like you've seen Darnell crushing dudes lately in the run game. Jonah Jackson crushed somebody last game. So Ben Johnson, let them warm them big men up and let them go move some dudes.
Let them off the leash.
Yeah, exactly. Steph, what we thinking on the offense?
I mean, y'all didn't want no home cooked meal. Y'all wanted something quick and hot. Y'all went to the microwave, but I'm gonna reiterate. All right, run the ball. Running the ball is right there on the screen. There's only one other thing we do better than running the ball. That's taking it away. That's not what you do, offense. Run the ball successfully. That's how you get those passes. And it's Alex Highsmith. It's the guy we was talking about.
Highsmith.
Yeah. That's the one we're talking about. Alex Highsmith. You say Haywood and Watt. Like the best way to look, run the ball well, run the ball successfully. I don't care, what the yards look like. I don't care statistically what it's going to look. I want it to look successful. I want it to look big. I want it to look demoralizing. Like they think they got you, and DJ for 9-10 yards on 3rd and 5, and the drive continue, like you were saying, Marcus mixed it, like staying on the field and get it, and then we can, like I said, Ramsey and all of those guys, and not worry about. We ain't worry about. We talked about it already. We talked about we don't even know who got the best hands. We got a lot of good hands out there.
Yep.
We can make that work later on. We're in Chicago. Run the ball, hit them hard, right in the mouth. Let the crowd hear it. Let us hear it. let that cold air that you Marcus mixes y'all filling up there nowadays coming. You can see your breath. Let that out. I want to see everybody breath in Chicago in the stands screaming
It's
loud.
definitely getting cold in the Midwest.
I want to see that. So my thing is run the ball. I think run the ball. We third and run. We got 2 good running backs. Love to see a lot of Monangai coming in this one. Like you said, they first and fourth fumbles. Put the guy who ain't fumbled since
Yeah.
Moby Dick was a guppy, as Rob Parker would say. As Rob Parker would say, the guy who ain't fumbled since Moby Dick was a guppy. Like, get that man the ball. I want heavy Monangai, swift change of pace. Play action, Caleb, big pass to whoever the fuck he want to throw the ball to.
Mm-hmm. Pick your boy.
That's it. I'm not. And last but not least, I do gotta say my bonus key to the game is Nation Wright with another one. Nation Wright with another one.
I'm telling you, Rudolph come out there. I think we get 2. I think we get 2.
Get to Nation and Captain Bar. But I think Nation is the kind of corner who is kind of built to pick off Aaron Rodgers because he likes to drop it in over DBs right past them, right past their fingertips. But you forgot that, he got 3-foot forearms and 7-foot biceps. He long. He probably got a 9-foot wingspan, and you're gonna try to dump it over him because you just been doing this for forever. So you're gonna try to dump it over. I just want outstretch, take it. I want to see him snatch that fucking, how Aaron Rodgers did when he throw the pick. You went the wrong way, and then get out the
way. I want somebody else.
He's gonna be walking off the field shaking his head a few times.
That's what I want to see. Like I said, make him uncomfortable. Like I said, I really don't care who it is out there. But I just feel like same recipe. Run the ball well, take the ball away, evade getting sacks. Offensive line, 12 personnel, jumbo 13. If Ozzy's out there, that's what you got to do. Hit him with the tanks, Mark Rotel. Bring the tanks out. Bring Ozzy.
We brought some tanks in this year. We was asking for them tanks, and they brought a bunch.
They brought them in, put them out there, move them out the way, and let them go. That's what I feel.
Let me answer this question real quick, and we'll get up out of here. I had to answer this one. I bet I had to answer this.
Do y'all not watch this show?
Pilgrim, what do you guys think is wrong with Gervon Dexter? Ain't nothing wrong with him. He's healthy as what is it, ox or whatever it is. Yeah. He's healthy. He's very fucking healthy. He just is who he is. He just is who he is. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Nothing. That boy is perfectly fucking fine. So that's what I gotta say about that. He just is who he is. Had to get that question asked, but look, fellas, Marcus mixed it. Day fucking view. Good fucking job. A lot of good takes, a lot of good stuff to get clipped up and put out in shorts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna cut the tape on this one, fellas. There's a lot of good hot takes out there, especially with the Tyreek and Nation. We might get some angry comments after we go off air. Look, I hit that like button. You say what?
I got one thing. I got dessert for y'all, just so y'all know.
What's up?
My predictions. I want to pull it back out. My scores is all wrong, obviously. All my scores are just wrong, except for my Cowboys was 31-13, and we beat them 31-14. I want to point that out. If you don't believe me, go back and watch.
That's tough.
The only thing that I got wrong is Cincinnati.
And we all got that one wrong because we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I swapped when we was going to win and beat the Vikings. I thought we was going to start off beating them and lose later because home versus their home kind of thing. But yeah, honestly, I think I'm still on track for my 12-5 record.
12. I don't remember. I had to go back and look at I'll probably do that. I think I had 10 or 11 for sure. But one more Grimy Clan Shooter said, y'all got to keep Marcus on here. He's real good at this. You say the boy a natural, huh? All right.
Sticking around. I got one question before we get up out of here. I'm gonna try to make it quick so we can go. But just because we all just spoke on like, how important the run game is gonna need to be for this game. Do y'all feel that if Caleb Williams comes out and just manages a good game, that it'll be enough to win the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I want him to run the ball this game. Like, I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm trying to have a team kind of football game. Like, and managing the game to me is him, you know, I call it 20 for 28, 200 yards, a touchdown, no sacks.
Yeah, I think there's
okay
going
with
to be
that.
downfield opportunities, but this game don't necessarily scream a game that Caleb got to go and put on his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we just run a solid game and we kind of keep it, like, especially if the game plan is to run at them and just kind of run a hard-nosed game at them and just make, like, if you're going to beat us, you have to beat us versus, we missing opportunities. Then I feel like we can kind of just walk them down a little bit, to be honest, even with them playing. Like, their front four is playing really good. And they getting, like I said, their defense is getting off the field. I just feel like as an offense, we got a lot of options and we have the ability to stay out there. So I feel like I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of chess match between our offense versus their defense.
They can't come fast enough.
I think so. To answer your question, I do think so. I think this team, like we've been finding ways to win with all different phases of this. Got like last week, it was Duvernay and then the field goal and had a blocked field goal at one point this year. Caleb in offense did step up against the Bengals, and then Caleb did it by himself, I guess, against the Giants. So yeah, hell yeah. If Caleb has a what you say, game manager type game,
yeah,
can we win? I do. I really do, because like what we've been doing, taking the ball away, Wes. We've been doing it. So
I know.
I think that I'm not one of them people that think it's not sustainable. I think at this point, hell yeah, that's what we do. It's in our DNA. We're not. It's not a flash in the pan. So I do think if Caleb don't have a 300 yard, I don't think he need to go crazy just for us to win this game.
Yeah. No, and I was just gonna say, I want to clarify. I'm not talking about no Houdinis. I'm not talking about like.
Well, that's who he is. So
right, that's what I mean. I mean, I still expect the Houd. I still expect the.
That's part of the game.
Play his in. Then that for me, because I get us. I just want, like we said, we got people in here, so let's teach them about the Bears. Caleb management game is still him scrambling, taking his time, finding the open guy, making plays, all of that. It's just it don't need to be 70% for 475 yards for 22 touchdowns. Like, we don't need that to beat this team.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what he did last week against Vikings, he managed it. I really I think that's exactly what he did, especially with all them damn blitzes. Take care of the football and let the team help you out. They get paid too on this team, so let them earn their check too. Great show, fellas. Great fucking show. People, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no spaces. We on the road to 600, right? 600.
Go
we go live twice a week.
Go find about 25 of your friends.
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So look, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, head over to YouTube, man. Show some love on YouTube. Help us with the algorithm. The Black Bear Podcast, one word, no spaces. We will see y'all post-game show this Sunday after the Bears win. We gone. We out of here. Peace.